Oh, that's awesome. No sound. Well, now can we get the show going now with sound? That would be really great. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. Okay, so can we have sound now? All right, I think so. I think we have sound. So there we go. I don't know what'll happen next. Who knows? Who knows? That's what's happening here. It's crazy. It's a crazy day today. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. I super apologize. If there's anybody still watching, I apologize. I apologize. This is why we need a time machine. Okay, we can go back in time, and there we go. So, no sound. Love it. Love it. There is sound now. Now I have this little line going. Just crazy. All right, back to me. All right, so there we go. Back to me. That's the no sound cat. The cat was looking for the sound, but we're doing it. Alexandra, thank you very much. Turn up my bell tones. That's good. That is good. I like it. I like it. Boy, it's not a great show this week. I appreciate it. So I'm going to have to repeat everything. Yeah, Wild Bill was first. I do want to say that. And the president was first this week as well. George H.W. Bush was first today. That's not great. So anyway, we're here anyway. So the ATA spies have gotten, yeah, no doubt. Since I was giving them a lot of grief, remember Chris Spear, $1.3 million salary. They've gotten to my channel, but I forgot to plug in the mic. Yeah, I didn't click the, normally comes up mute, and I didn't click it because it was a mess. So I apologize. Fleet Nav Systems is here today. Let me get to these here. GP Transco. Thank you for being here and for that video with Ice-T. That was pretty good. I talked about that, but I was the only one listening myself. They did a video with Ice-T where Ice-T congratulates drivers. I hope you'll go watch that video. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Thank you for being here. They do Geotab, and they know what they're talking about. That's for sure. Apparently better than I know about technology. That is for sure. All right, partly Xfinity and partly my blame this week. So now we're ready to go. Yikes. We are good now. Yikes. Roger Moore is here. Now it's too much. Yeah, no doubt. People are like, it was better when it was muted. That's most likely what people are thinking. So stay muted. That's great. Paint or get off the ladder, right? Do subtitles. Yeah, we need to turn the subtitles on. That'd be the thing. Misty, I know that torties are great, but they talk a lot. If you ever get a tortoiseshell cat, yikes, they are talkers. They talk a lot. So, Misty, loud and clear, thank you very much. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was not a great start. So, that anyone is still here is appreciated to me. Cats chewing wires, I don't think they would stay awake long enough to chew through an entire wire. So, good morning, Daycab Gear Jammer from windy Northern California. That's awesome. Here's snow today. That was weather and traffic on the 8th. Snow until this afternoon. Winter weather advisory, 30 degrees here in Lafayette. Traffic moving a little bit slow. Be careful on Sagamore Parkway. So traffic on the 8th. Sir, we're seeing mean things. Don't you bet. Hey, this is my problem, right? You come here. I should do a professional show. This is like 140 some shows in a row, and it isn't. So as professional as I could do it. So I apologize. That is my fault. So Mark, the YouTube content creator, making his mistakes for the day. Chef Man, I do what I can. Like, I'm not great at it or whatever. Michael Muller, I have exciting news from the FMCSA Drivers Board. They have looked over my application and decided I was perfect match not to be on the panel. That's awesome. Did you apply too? I did apply for that board. So, but it was all the suck-ups and stuff that got in. That's what we figured. Tina Jones on lunch. Beautiful cat. Learn a lot at this driving school. That's good. I'm glad. And if you want to say where it is, that'd be good, because a lot of people do write in and say, what's a good driving school? And there's so many. I don't know. I mean, there's literally thousands of them all around the country. It's hard to keep up with them. So you didn't plug it. I need to pump up the volume and the jam here. So seeing a lot of these variant trucks. Oh, there's going to be a variant video this week. So that'll be great. They have a billboard of a scene that says variant puts drivers first. Not sure what that means. It just means you're first, like when you get in line at U.S. Express to wait for a sandwich or something, you are first in line. I don't know what it means either. And so I've been talking to somebody who's talked to Variant, and it's pretty interesting, what they're doing there at Variant versus U.S. Express, so which is not much. Ice-T might be our best celebrity shout-out yet at GP Transco. I know. I mean, I'm like, this guy is like a huge star, and then GP Transco just like says, hey, would you do a video for truck drivers or whatever? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Is that on your channel or your Facebook page? I saw it like on CDL Life or something. Where can drivers go find that? Time to call your dispatcher and let her know you broke the dash cam. Yeah, get those out of there, I'd say. Rain here on I-64, 2 inches. Yikes. It's snowing up here, and it will turn to rain later. By this evening, we expect partly cloudy skies and partly moon skies, really. George Wilson, I'm still here. Good. Good. At least somebody's here. Thank you. Thank you for sticking through that mess. Fleet Nav Systems, we did a cool video on our channel this month that has one of our customers talking about our service. Not exactly as GP Transco's Ice-T video, but we thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, everybody go check that out. A customer that talks about your channel, yeah, that is pretty good. What if Ice-T was your customer? We need to get him as your customer and then you could put like Geotab in his Rolls Royce, which he has a nice Rolls Royce, and put it in there. That'd be pretty good. But yeah, that's awesome. Now you owe us a Sierra England rap video. Irishman, believe me, nobody wants that, especially Ice-T. Silos, I found a great government career in New York City driving tractors. That's not bad. Hourly plus overtime after 8. Oh, nice. Double time after 10. And Sunday premium. Huh. Very relaxing. Don't work over a lot over 2,000 weekly. That's pretty good. See, that's the way to do it. Now you got a good job. Don't work that much. And it pays. All your time is paid. That's all I'm saying for drivers. Who's the best company to team with? Who is the best company to team with? You know who I like to send people to after they have experience is Quest. Quest Trucking for teams. I like that. I do like, because it's teams only. How about that? Teams only. As usual, I'm working on some great ideas. I got a driver's seat that replaced the bottom cushion with a padded toilet seat bag underneath a hashtag dump truck seat. I think that's actually been tried by some people. The problem is the air, you may hit a bump and hear a sound that might be unpleasant, that kind of thing. If you have your own team partner, I think go to GP Transco and show up as a team and do pretty good there too, as many teams have written to me. So how about that? And they're here. You can ask them a question right now. They're right here in front of you to ask them a question about teaming. So there you go. As usual, let's see. As all brands have problems, my 20 Peterbilt started randomly flashing the four-ways. Well, that's for safety. And interior lights and honking the horn. Now I'm in a 600,000-mile clapped-out Volvo. At least this is running, right? Yeah, new trucks. Some of them have problems, too. They just recalled Freightliners, which I didn't write it down. 2020 to 2022. I don't know who has a 2022 Freightliner. Anyhow, those are the ones recalled. About 8,000 of them. There's something with the steer tires. Certain tires with certain air dams. I don't know why. Apparently the tires rub and the steer tires can blow out. If you have a 2020 to 2022 Freightliner Cascadia Sleeper, that's what they said, call your Freightliner dealer and give them the VIN and see if you're included in the recall. It was too many different combinations of trucks to say, okay, it had the R280s and all. Too many different combos. 2020 to 2022 Freightliner Cascadia Sleepers. Call your Freightliner dealer and see if you're in on it. And I guess they're going to put a couple of new tires on it if they wore out and change something underneath the wheel well so it doesn't rub. That's how it works. Be honest, did you start the show by telling who you drive for? I was telling that, but it didn't go through. It was going to be that special day. But the internet didn't allow it. Thomas Warmouth, what's up about UPS Freight? Yes. They were sold. They are sold. UPS Freight sold. Have you ever seen those trucks? I don't see that many of them, as surprising as that is. Let's see. Who bought it? TFI. TFI buys, which I misspelled here. Nobody would have known that unless I said it. UPS Freight for $800 million. Did you know they were for sale? Did you have an extra $800 million laying around? Maybe you could have bid like 805 or something. Yeah, and it's going to be called T-Force Freight after this. TFI International is a Canadian company, and they bought them out. They bought out UPS Freight. So I don't know what those drivers will think about that. Will the pay change? Who knows? If anybody works for UPS Freight, I'd love to know if they've said anything to you. Will your pay change? That kind of thing. Because I assume it pays pretty good. GP Transco, Ice-T's on the Facebook page. Okay, good. So that's one way to go see it. And you're going to add it to your YouTube shortly. Yeah, they got Ice-T talking about drivers. This guy in a Rolls Royce. I don't know if he did the video in a Rolls Royce. It's just cold, Alexander, in Nephi, Utah. Oh, all right. That's unusual. I got all the snow today. They said it's going to, yeah, Fleet Nav, that would be great. Yeah, see what you can do about that. They said it's going to snow here later today or tomorrow from Denver, the Horton David. I'm sure. How's it going with the keto diet? Well, it's modified keto. No problems. We take teams too and have, okay, so you have 30 teams at GP Transco. Right, that's what I'm saying. If they're a team question, GP Transco takes teams. Will you build a team or do the two people have to come together? That's knockwurst last night for dinner. Wow. You would, but your wife doesn't have experience. That's a problem. Tri-State is team hazmat government loads, Roger Moore. I didn't think that, it did too great. What people wrote to me from Tri-State when I did the video, a number of people wrote and said it's a ton of paperwork. So, and they sent a picture one time of nearly an inch thick of paperwork that they had to sign each page of. So they said it was just a ton of paperwork. But if you get into the right groove there, because of minimums, you could end up, running only 1,000 miles a week as a team, 1,800 miles a week, and still get, great pay. So, but it was a lot of paperwork. Roger Moore, I'm sorry I couldn't live out here. No gambling and prostitutes or drugs. Yeah, there's nothing to do there. They don't even have coffee, basically. When I DJ, I go by DJ Ice Cream. Cassius King Truck, nice. Taking over the pun master. Do the voices in my head, are they considered a team? The extra voice can be a second driver. It used to be when you could just buy a second logbook, right? Who did that? And I'm sure no one. I'm sure nobody did that. Did you watch the video I seen from Elite Trucker about some guy talking yeah, Michael Muller. That's an older video, and I heard about it then. That's successful trucking, right? Saying that, look, people can talk, you really say whatever they want. I try not to get into drama. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. If you don't have haters, you're not making a difference in the world. That's what I think. If nobody's hating on you, you're just going along with the flow. You know where that goes? It all goes downstream, all in the same place. That's not the place to be, right? There's a path through the forest, right? Everybody follows that. Go make your own path. So that's what I think. I'm happy when somebody it takes notice and gives an opinion, because at least I'm making a difference. Dash cam certainly appreciate Curious being on Lives with Trucking Answer and Asian My Show, Chef Matt. Yeah, thank you for that. And I always invite Curious to come on the show and answer questions. GP Transco is very good about answering questions here for people, and so if anybody has one for them. They're generally in here except when they're interviewing for exciting positions like accountant. No roller wiener today, but Bubba Chinos for breakfast. What's a Bubba Chinos? That sounds like a good breakfast, but where the heck is that place at? Anyway, Kevin, mic check. Oh, yeah, it's going good. Going good now. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I needed to get a mic cord, apparently. Alexander, yeah, but you can shoot in the mountains, Roger Moore, all right? On your Sunday show, why do you film on the wrong side of the car? Well, we're sitting on the dashboard, and so it just reverses the picture. So that's why. Once in a while, I remember to flip it the other way, and so I'm on the right side. But, I like English cars anyway, so I'm kind of a fan. Jaguar, my favorite, so I'm kind of feeling like I'm in an English car that way. TFI is CFI, and TFI International is not CFI. So really, is Marty McFly driving a truck these days? Who's got a 2022 already? Yeah, I know. That's what they said. Cash King Truck 2022. Are there 2022 Freightliner Cascadias rolling around already? It's barely 2021, but that was actually in the thing. What is with Swift collaborating with American Truck Simulator, Dallas, Melbourne? I will say American Truck Simulator has a gigantic simulator that they want to get approved by the government for actual testing, so that you could take your test in this simulator. But a lot of these larger carriers do use simulators to, cut down on the cost of training and stuff. That simulator, I think, eventually will be used to take your test in. How about that? Have you tried it there, and what do you think about it, or did you just read about that? Luke, I've heard the UPS freight drivers get cheated in terms of paying equipment versus regular UPS. That would probably be true, the freight. But, to compete, I figured it would be like UPS, and then ABF, Yellow. I thought they would all pay kind of that kind of level. Are they not union in the freight division? Why would the union allow that? Alexander, what is fun without the scratch-offs, cheap women, alcohol, and shrooms? It's true, right? And I won the mega ball this week, $2. So I hit the ball on it. Saw GP Transco trailer being hauled by Bright Orange Tractor this weekend. Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Their owner-operators don't have any kind of color requirement, if I remember right, or model requirement. So could be some orange... was it a Schneider truck, too? That'd be awesome. Somebody bought an old Schneider truck? Is it that color orange? When you buy that truck, you're required to put like 40 patches on your jacket immediately, whether you work for Schneider or not. Michael Muller's K&B still open. Haven't seen one of their trucks. They are. They run ads all the time. $13.50 guarantee at K&B. I see their ads constantly. Acceleration rules. The only thing shipping will be homeless spots. Nice. No, we do not build teams, GP Trans. That's what I wondered, unless we have two current drivers who decide to partner up. Okay, I know some places, probably because you don't want as many teams as a lot of places. I mean, with 30 teams, it wouldn't make sense for you to do. But I have seen that where they'll say, look, just call us and we'll put you together, kind of a swipe left or right team matchmaking service, team drivers, only.com kind of thing. Rain in Phoenix, Roger Penske, yeah, but warmer than here probably. Our high is going to be 34 later this afternoon. Did anyone, although that's very good, it's very good. George Wilson, did anyone hear of Dave Nemo? Show cameras are in the cabs to learn and store your actions for autonomous trucks, and you won't get paid for your knowledge. Did anyone hear, what was he talking about that way? And I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, those kind of shows on there are basically just shill shows for whoever's on the channel at the time. And Dave Nemo, right, not a driver. Keep that in mind. Gino, delivering eggs at Spanish Fork. Someone had a road rage fit and shot 2 kids. Oh, nice. What do the kids do wrong? I mean, come on, people. Larry King, Larry King died this week, last week. 89, I'm going to say. I think I'm close. 6,000 shows on the radio, or 6,000 TV shows and stuff. Incredible. Well, Bill's second logbook. Well, I've heard tell stories. How old do you have to say that? That there are stories of drivers who may have run more than one logbook at a time. I'm just saying it's possible. I don't know of anyone that did it. I've just heard stories about it. Canadian Tanker Yanker, hello. Roger Moore, actually live in Levon, Utah. If you think Nephi is boring, what is going on in Levon, Utah? Probably not much. Chef Matt, you got plenty of haters. That's good. I mean, the more haters you get, the more you're making a stir, You throw a rock out in the pond, you get a ripple that goes through the whole pond. That's what you want. You're not going to... What's the point of being on the planet if you're not going to try to do something extraordinary, right? Schwarzenegger said that, and he ought to know. Cassius King Trucking got 880 miles left on my load. Got to be there by tomorrow, by 11:30. Wow, the broker's nervous. Told him to calm down. That's right, though. You still are okay on that. And you can just step it up. The broker's nervous. That's good when you're making them nervous. Usually they're the ones calling up going, hey, can you be early or whatever? Where's that load going, though, for 880 miles? Because right now, across here, it's kind of, I don't know if I'd be hauling along at 75 miles an hour today. If you wear it, make it a parrot always. Always keep that parrot on. You had another driver get busted on the phone. Come on. What are we doing here? Holding their phone. Like in the yard, like there's all managers or whatever. Apparently, I just heard about it. I didn't see it in the yard. I guess they're like, what are you doing? GP Transco thought that might be an owner-operator. Yeah, I thought an orange truck owner-operator. I've never seen an orange one for them. Wasn't Larry King on the Supreme Court? More. He should have been. It's about the only thing he didn't do. He's probably interviewed everyone. Austin, Washington. Hello, Mark. It's a shame to hear about UPS Freight. I heard it was a redhead stepchild of the company. That's too bad. I mean, I thought that their pay there would be better than other places because of UPS. Were they not union? No, he was a talk show host. Yeah, Larry King, big talk show host. Also on The Simpsons. Misty Rabka, there's a Starbucks in every corner in Salt Lake City. You can't get too many of them. Donovan, I've seen a 2021. I know some people have new 2021s, but who's got a 2022 Freightliner already? And how annoying is that? You already brought it back from the future, and now you have to take it in for a recall. It's not even been basically made yet, and it's already being recalled. Alexander, Jaguar Automotive has switched more hands than politicians do with donors. That's why they're so expensive. That is true. Look, Some of them rate really good. An hour from here, there's an XJL, which is very unusual, right? There are only about 2,100 of them in 2012 when I was looking at that. It's one of the V8 ones, and the V8 rates average reliability, which is good for a Jaguar. That's for Consumer Reports, just average. Repairs are simple on it, and so there you go. It's only an hour away. It's in Kokomo. Right? So I mean, they're around, and some of them do better than others. You're right. Jaguar every 2 years gets sold though to somebody else. Disappointing. The Horton David Bubbachinos is a spicy Mexican food. It used to be called Chubby's. It's mostly a Colorado thing. Okay, yeah, I never heard of it. I've been in a simulation truck before. It was like a video game. Wow, Bill. Yeah, if you've seen the pictures of this, and you should go look them up. American Truck Simulator, you're sitting in, and there's screens all around you, and the mirrors up there and stuff, but it's not the same as driving a truck. You know, I don't think you should be able to take a test in it, certainly. Certainly not. But they're lobbying the government to be able to take the test in it. Michael Miller's got a 2021 Pete that the company bought in 09. Right, but it's not a 2022 yet. K&B has a terminal 30 minutes down the road from our terminal, Alexandria. Is there like a line of distraught drivers walking from K&B down to you guys? Every once in a while, you just pick them up and bring them on the way up there. They have like a hanker, a kerchief tied over a stick over their arm, and they're boiling up bean cans by the railroad tracks. Kevin, UPS Freight is like the owner-operator part of Amazon. If it runs, it ships. That's too bad. Self-driving trucks will never work in America when they run a red light and kill someone, game over. Well, the idea is that they won't run a red light because, as they've talked about, the infrastructure will be beaming a signal out. So all the autonomous vehicles that approach a signal will know whether the signal is red, not just being able to see it, but the signal will tell it what it's doing, and it will say in 6 seconds, basically, I'm turning red. So the truck will know if it should go through or if it should stop. That's the idea. That is a long way away, believe me. Because even when it snows here, a lot of the lights are LED lights. Now they're changing them around town, and you can always tell those because in the snow you can't see them. They don't have any heat to them. I keep trying to explain that to people. I would never hire a driver that got their state CDL through a simulator. Well, you wouldn't know. That's the thing. Once it's available, you can go get your license, say at Swift, for example, in Phoenix, and then you transfer back to your state or whatever. Nobody will know the difference. 87 from COVID, Michael Muller. Eddie McFadden, UPS Freight is union, but only starts at $15 an hour. 15 hour, 4 years top pay, which is $25 an hour. That's not great for $15 an hour to start a union company. What are these unions doing? Did I miss it? Can you hear me now? Oh, I should. Right, you did, because no one could hear me. Misty Rap got 2 logbooks, blasphemy. I've only heard stories about it. Like you see it written, not women, but from in the men's bathroom where there's poetry on the walls and stuff, you'll see something written about 2 logbooks, but I assume it's not true. I'm sure no one has ever done that for 99 cents. Garden City, Utah is nice. I always like Salt Lake City, really. UPS Freight was overnight before buyout. Yeah, they switched over again, and now they're getting bought out again. Kind of the Jaguar of freight, as they say. Oh, there's a Borg red alert on now? Yikes. Look out. There's all the red alerts. Till tomorrow. Gotta head out, but good to see you all. Okay, thanks, Fleet Nav Systems. Catch you next week. All right, it's good to see you. Work on an iced tea thing. I got a load from Appleton to Cowpens, South Carolina. Cowpens. So was that you, Appleton, Wisconsin, fueling up Friday at the Petro? Because it was your company there. GP Transco, do you have a point of contact for owner-operator recruiting? Oh, I wonder if they have a separate number. UPS pays a lot. Good work if you can get it. The regular UPS does, right. Alexander has 2022 trucks. Really? Well, if they're Freightliner Cascadias, do they look different? I mean, a 2022, can you even see it? Is it like fuzzy because it's still coming in from the future? Seriously, though, if it's a Cascadia sleeper, it might be recalled. It might be. I don't think they have too many Freightliners there, but if it's a Cascadia sleeper, it could be on the recall list. And because there's so many different combinations, if you have 2020, 2021, or a 2022 Freightliner Cascadia sleeper, get the VIN and call a dealer and see if it's on the recall list. It's something about the steer tires could blow out because they're rubbing on something inside. Does that mean I could play Grand Theft Auto for my driving test now? Luke, I bet somebody has hacked into that thing and does mess around. And plus, I think it'd be fun to just go crazy in the thing every once in a while and see what happens. Does the glass like crack on it like it used to be in old video games? I rode a roller coaster simulator in the mall years ago. It was very convincing. I don't know about the actual CDL test. Jubba, a roller coaster simulator. Do you not move then? Yeah, the worst for the receiver for this of the signal breaks. Then what? Right, that Michael Muller. Well, that's the thing. It's supposed to be able to look at the light also, but all the infrastructure will also be dispatching a signal out, and so a short range signal as it comes up, it'll be like red light, is coming up. So the truck has to look and get a signal in. What happens when that goes out? Somebody gets run over because two just blast right through there. I remember when logbooks were 59 cents each. Oh, I never remember. At the old 76, I used to buy 6 at a time, Gear Jammer, because that's a 6-month supply, is what you're saying. That's a 6-month supply of them. Always wonder how autonomous vehicles will handle school buses stopping. Well, the same thing. All the vehicles will be broadcasting to all other vehicles. So in theory, the school bus will be broadcasting a signal out that I'm stopping, and it will not go around. Right now, a Tesla would stop behind a school bus that stopped in its lane. So it'll pull up, the school bus stops, the car would stop behind it. That's how it should work. So this is all city stuff, and this is a long way. The interstates are the first place for autonomous trucks. In town, oh my gosh, somebody 21 right now go get their license today and work their whole life and still be plenty of trucking jobs. It is so long away. Alexander, no, I'm not seeing that yet. If I see Cash wants to interview said person, when I see a hitchhiker like that, he might be out there interviewing these people. They're just a line of distraught, poor people walking down. Maybe they could connect the simulator to the self-driving truck so we could all just start working from home. Day Cab Gear Jammer. That'd be good. And they actually talked about that. It's funny. There is a company that's testing this right now. And there was a driver. He had a steering wheel and the controls. And he had several screens that he could switch between different trucks. And as a truck had an issue, that would come up on a screen and he would take control of the truck. That is the theory. You will drive 3 trucks, probably for a third of the amount that they pay now. But you'd be available to drive any of these trucks. And so if something comes up, you get the whole simulator thing or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, you're not far off, believe me. The LED headlights on my spotter get covered with ice and snow. I have to clear them off a few times a day. Wow, Bill, that's exactly correct. And that's why the Cascadias, although the LED headlights are great in new cars, they're not heated. Volvo cars are heated. Now, finally, Western Star's heating their LED lights. But otherwise, you can't see anything in 10 minutes of driving. Driver's ed in 1975 high school, we had simulators. Really? The video was a movie on the screen in front of the class. Wow. I never took driver's ed. So Dad said, we're not taking driver's ed. It's $400. So never got to take it. The only time I ever drove was to take the driving test, which shows you how poor the driving test is in America. I never used a paper logbook. I don't think I would know how, the Horton David. That's the thing right now. There are people that have never used a paper log. I do think that you should learn how to use it because if your ELD stops working, you would be required to switch to paper logs. Recreate your last week of logs and continue to paper log. So I do think you should know how to do that. Companies should all teach it. Truck schools should teach paper logs. Until we don't have them anymore, you should know how to use it because right now it's the backup. It's legal. I talked with a UPS freight guy a few months ago, and he said even with experience in a CDL, because of the union, you still got to start way down and work up to become a driver. He said he's going to Old Dominion. Old Dominion. Yeah, that's good. That's a good place. Roger Penske in high school, the movie we saw was Bloody Highways. Wow. That sounds like a great thing to show. If they show that right after Live Birth. Austin, Washington, I feel simulators could be used to develop the basics like backing and the Smith system. But test on one? Yikes. I know, but they're saying that they want to be able to test on it. Look, it could be a good thing. You could do it and you're inside. You don't have to worry about the weather, although you should get out in the weather. Still. They're going to be at a place near you. Tipping the host. It's Mr. Plow. I appreciate that. And we're going to need you today. Get out and start plowing out here. It's snowing the last I looked out the window. Alexander, the Freightliners we have are being phased out. It's all internationals. All right, so those are not on the recall list. So you have a 2022 international? Wow. Kelly Patterson. 2022's come with a flux capacitor. Yeah, how do you get ones from the future? It's just 2021. Already they're going to have 2023s coming out in March. What's the graffiti in the women's bathroom? Trick question. Is there any? I don't know. I've not been in there. Aren't there couches and potpourri? Well, I think I have a 1-year contract with CR looking for a new job. Pretty Rick. Would you like to tell everyone, and I thought it was 9 months there, but if it's a year, how did you get out of a contract with CR England? Believe me, I get letters about that every week. The Horton David, you buy a paper logbook, the instructions are in the book. That's true. It's different reading it and doing it. Cash is King Truck. I've seen those rubber fender extensions on the Freightliners. Rubber fender extensions. Will the simulators be programmed by Boeing? That's awesome. Acceleration rules. Wrong turn on simulator gets stuck in residential neighborhood just like real life. Oh, does it work like that? You should be able to just plow right through the neighborhood then. Will it let you do that? Like, say I want to just turn around in the grass. What happens if you use one of these? I think that'd be fun to do. I really do. George Costanza's here. Thank you. So we know how you feel about pineapple on pizza. Well, your fancy man to know, is a hot dog a sandwich? A hot dog is, I do think, and thank you for that, a hot dog is a sandwich. It meets all the requirements of a sandwich. It's meat in 2 pieces of bread and meat with other toppings. So I do think that it meets the strict definition of sandwich, and it is a sandwich. Yes. So that's how that works. It's completely dark with a screen showing a track in front of you. You're strapped in and it moves around basically on the track. Really? I wonder if it would be convincing, though, because you know that you're really not on the track. That's why hypnotism and that doesn't work for me, because I know it doesn't work. So part of it is you have to really believe what you're doing, I think, because you're kind of fooling yourself and don't believe it. Tip your host, Cassius Geek Trucking. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look, tips are appreciated but not necessary. Thank you, though. I have a few guys that hate on Freightliner International, Kenworth or Pete's. Are they just biased or just something to it? Well, I mean, I don't like internationals. I don't know about hate on them, but I haven't been in the LTs, but the older international bodied, I don't like the way it's set up inside. It's got little tiny headlight buttons, and I didn't think the switches were set up good. I just didn't think it was good. The radio's not placed in the right spot. I wasn't a fan of it. So just because of that, I didn't think like anyone that made the truck took the time to figure out how the truck is being used. And that matters when you're in it all day. It's Mr. Plow. You're late. A long night at the manhole. Believe me, it was a mess here. So what happens when those trucks get hacked? Eddie, well, that's a problem, isn't it? They'll say, oh, don't worry, nobody can hack into that truck, so don't worry about that. Oh, you just got to notice the Ice-T video is available from GP Transco. All right, so everybody should watch that video. Ice-T talking about drivers with GP Transco. Remote control trucks from home. I could drive in my flip-flops and underwear. Or you've already done that. Yeah, that's like every Tuesday, right, for everybody. I mean, it's underwear day on Tuesday, so yeah, you'll be able to drive in whatever. They said that. They said the average person would be able to control 3 trucks that way, especially when they get a little bit better on the interstate and don't have to have as much intervention. You'll be able to drive 3 of them. Now, will you get, say, $1.50 a mile, 50 cents a mile a piece? No, they'll say it'll be $1 a mile, but only for the miles you drive. It'll be just only the driven miles. Alexander, I don't have a 2022 International, but we have them over here. I'm keeping this truck till it's time to turn it in. I hate moving trucks. I agree. Once you get a good truck, stay in it. It's so annoying, especially if you're staying in the thing up for the week. Switching everything over is a super hassle. I had that happen one time years ago. I had a Pete, like a 579 Pete, and I'd only had this truck a few weeks, and it blew some kind of thing in the engine. They had it towed over to the dealer, and they had to, like, redo the whole engine, like, rebuild it or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, we'll just come and get you and put you in another truck. I'm like, well, crap. So you got to take all your stuff back out, haul it over to the new truck. What a disaster. It's a whole day program. If you can drive a truck from home, why can't we do this on aircraft? I don't know why they couldn't do it on aircraft. They basically fly themselves. So, yeah, I don't see why you couldn't. Maybe because in aircraft, the pilots union probably wouldn't allow it. But truck drivers will be like, oh, yeah, Gear Grinder, my company's running 2022 Pete's. Really? They're all wrapped in vinyl to keep it a secret. Not anymore now that I know of it. They're wrapping them in vinyl? So do they have that weird stuff like on cars that's got all the little designs on it so people don't know what it is? Do you have a point of contact at GP Transco for owner-operator recruiting? I failed the driver's test despite 5 years of safe driving as a farm kid doing deliveries. Yet I was pointing out the drivers driving while distracted. Licenses? Who needs them? Right, exactly. Depending on who tests you, depending on whether you pass or not, I think. When there's a micro glitch or something goes wrong, who's going to be responsible? Am I going to be exonerated or exiled to a sector for rehabilitation? Well, that's the thing. Will it be the driver who's remotely driving the truck? The truck owner? What insurance pays? I mean, what if 2 trucks, I thought about this, what if all 3 trucks need your intervention at the same time? Danny, Sierra England, when I went through back in 2014, it was 6 months for the contract for vets and 9 for non-vets. That's what I thought, 9 months, right? And veterans got a little discount on it. How did you get out of it, driver that was out of it? It's not cereal, just a soup. Well, I don't know about that. It's a calzone sandwich. Well, see, a calzone is completely covered, though. It's wrapped on both ends and fried, usually. That's different. More like frying something up. I don't know if that's the same. It's not really bread anymore. It's dough. It's kind of fried dough on there. You'd have to really think about a calzone. Cassius King Trucking. What do you think about my idea of removing the seat cushion and replace it with a padded toilet seat? The dumper trucker seat. Well, I think that you could only do it on a road that doesn't have any bumps on it because you got that air movement up and down. You don't want to be on the downhaul part of that seat on a bumpy road and, the dumper part be too full. I'm thinking about that part of it. Are tacos a sandwich? Well, tacos are not, you don't use bread on a taco. See, a sandwich requires bread, I think. And tacos are not using bread, they're using tortillas. So you don't make a sandwich out of a tortilla. So no, the taco is not a sandwich. Hot dogs are gross. Poor man's sausage. Hot dogs are the meat of life. I heard that there's more writing on the walls of women's restrooms because they have both hands free. That's pretty good. Need 2 pens then. It's funny because it's the only place a driver has a pen is in the toilet. When they go to sign something at the shipping window or whatever, nobody has a pen. They're like, oh, pen. Where's the pen? I guess they left it in the toilet. And they also have a pen that will write on metal sideways. They have like the moon pen or whatever that writes that way. Misty Rabka. Donkey tacos are a delicacy, although I'm a fan of fish tacos. Exactly. Just saying. But they're still not a sandwich, no matter what you do with them. Even if you put bread around them. Did you catch any dead shows at Deer Creek in the old days? No. I went down there to Deer Creek. Who did we see down there? I saw Barry Manilow down there. I did go see him down there. I've only been down there a couple times. I'm not a big concert person. Big cab Volvos make great P&D trucks, just my 2 cents. Yeah, I like Volvos. I think they shift good. I don't like International's bad turning radius. I was too busy being worried about the way it's set up inside. We're getting 100-year 2022 Cascadias this year. Yeah, but do you have them yet? And do you have a phone number there for teams? But do you have those yet? Could you get a DUI on a team? A DUII on a team? Yeah, both. If you're both drunk. We're creating a 3D walkthrough of the interior of the 2022 Cascadias with the all-digital cockpits. I've seen that. An exterior walk around tomorrow. We'll be available on our website shortly. Oh, really? And a 3D walkthrough. I did see that it's digital. And what do you think about that? Do you think that'll make it more difficult for drivers? I mean, when we went to ELDs, it was a real problem for some drivers because we still have 1 or 2 drivers without a cell phone. They're like, I don't need no technology. So getting them to understand and use an ELD, and anytime there's a change in it, where a change is sent over, it's like a whole process to get some people up to speed. So what do you think about giving a truck, I've seen that dashboard, right? It's fascinating, to somebody that still lives like it's 1985. Tech North did a thank you message too. He looks like he beat his own butt. I hope he's not sick. He's like 100 years old, that guy. And he still could kick everybody's butt here all at one time. Could you get a DUI on a remote truck? Kelly Patterson. Oh, that's interesting. I would say yeah. Because you're still driving it down the road, right? And see, that's the thing. Will you still need a license? Do you have to pass a physical? Probably. You're still driving it on the road. Cash King, the toilet driver seat is excellent. Only on a seat that is not air ride. Or one that can be locked into toilet position. There should be like a T on it, and it locks into toilet setting, or maybe a different letter, maybe a 1 and a 2 lock on it. I'm not sure. I drive a 2020 International LT. It's very funky. Oddball stuff. The hot wire for the CB is green. Why are they doing that? There's several other things I don't like. And is it on the dashboard? I never like when trucks have the thing on the dashboard to mount the CB. Oh, mount your radio right in this direct sun all day. Okay, it should be up out of the way. So, Alexander, I'm a professional at this. Sandwiches and tacos are not related foods, but can be used at the same time. You can crash your truck driving tipsy on American Truck Simulator. Ask me how I know. See, can you drive through people's yards and stuff? I think that'd be fun. Cassius is already using it. Oh, he always has some kind of, always a test bed first before it puts it out to the public. I saw Slayer at Deer Creek. Oh, nice. A little too hard for me if I'm over there seeing Barry Manilow. 6th row. I remember getting 6th row because I waited because the tickets went on sale like at 10 and I was waiting. Clicked immediately. Boom. 6th row was the first one available. Got him. And I paid the VIP for the extra parking, $20 for VIP parking, and I didn't get out of the site any faster. So I won't be doing that again. Day Cab Gear Jammer. If 2 automated trucks collide with each other at 70 miles per hour, the same guy's driving both of them. Does he get points for both accidents? Oh, that's something. One guy crashes 2 trucks together into each other. Get all my pen advice from Nancy Campbell Jockey. Drivers, women don't realize this, but in the men's bathroom, right, men always have a pen with them that writes in all different directions. So they can write on a metal wall or bricks or whatever's on the wall, or the toilet seat, plastic, or stainless steel. Some of them can write in stainless steel, but they don't have a pen when they go sign their paperwork. So I don't understand. Burritos are small donkeys, according to the translation. I saw the Who during Quadrophenia tour. Wow, at Deer Creek. Drain the slippery noodle of Guinness partying with Simon after the show. That'd be pretty good. The Who. Cassius King Trucking, there will be bags underneath the toilet seats. You can just sling them out the window. Well, of course. Especially when someone gives you the bird after they screwed up. Yeah, it should have a... Maybe it's got a lever that you slide forward or something that automatically zip ties the bag or something. And then you can you reach over and out the window it goes. Just like that. Just use an airplane toilet for your driver's seat. Oh. A bidet. Oh, a bidet would be awesome in the seat too, and you could move the lever the other way. It goes into bidet mode, and then it's already got air supplied to the truck, right? So then you get the air going. Yeah, they instantly fine you on ATS, but GTA, you can drive through and over everything. If the cops get alerted, they shoot you. Well, yeah, they fine you. I wonder what happens then. You have to be on duty when on the truck toilet. On duty. He said duty again. Why can't you dispose of the toilet waste after every use? Well, you could, but you're going to want to keep it because there's going to be somebody you need to throw it at, right? So you have a lever that zip ties it, and then you can hike it at your own convenience. I have to go to Chicagoland for most of the bands I listen to, Alexander. So, yeah, I don't remember the name of that place on 80. Oh, I don't remember the name. I can't remember the name of the place there, but there's a concert venue there on I-80. Is that the place you're talking about? Did you see the slow roll in Joplin, Missouri, by the way? It's a slow roll. We had another one. Bill, who do you drive for? Well, that's a good question that does not get asked often by people here. So for people that don't know, I don't ever say who I drive for. And I think that makes for better videos because you can say whatever you want. I also don't recruit for anybody. So not out there recruiting for people. Perfect. I think that keeps it better, and that's what I recommend everybody else do as well. Because here, a lot of people, I'm trying not to get into politics, but remember a couple weeks ago in Washington, D.C., there was a little thing that went on or whatever. A lot of those people got fired over their posts. Okay? So to bring this back to trucking, depending on your posts, you could lose your job. And that's legal to do because in most states, it's legal to just fire you for any reason at all, as So you can make a post or whatever that your company doesn't like when you mention them in there and then they fire you. So you have to be very careful about that. That's what I'm saying. The Tweeter Center, it's been renamed a bunch of times. Yeah, I don't remember what it was now. I haven't been up there in a while. Who do you drive well for? No one. I'm surprised they let me stay there. The slow roll in Joplin, because 3 reasons. They said they're mad. 12 trucks took part in this, so that's really something. That's a good percentage of the population of trucks. Number 1, speed limiters. They don't want speed limiters. They said we're going to have speed limiters now with the new change of president. Boom, speed limiters. They don't want it. Insurance. Insurance is going up. They don't want it. They don't want that. They go, that's not right. And autonomous trucks. Autonomous trucks. And in the picture were a number of what? Long-nosed Pete's. Right. So instead of getting 5 miles an hour, what if you got 8 miles an hour? That'd be something. If you just change trucks, you could go the same speed and get better fuel mileage, which makes you more money. Also, now you'd say, well, Mark, they can buy whatever truck they want. Oh, I agree. But don't complain about cost of rates and stuff when you get 4 miles to the gallon. I mean, everything is a choice. So 12 trucks. 12 trucks out there. I drive for the ATA. Yeah, I'm getting 1.2 million, unlike Chris Spear gets 1.3 million. Mr. Chapstick, good afternoon, Mark. How's Gracie been? Oh, she's doing good. She's sleeping. I don't know where she went off to. Is she out here? No. She's out in the back looking at the birds, I guess. I filled the bird feeder up again. I saw deer. Pretty Rick, I saw a deer on their back of a moving 18-wheeler. He wasn't dead because he was screaming like Michael Jackson. Don't get this guy to stop. All this talk about the slow roll is making me hungry. Pass the butter. Yeah, slow rolling it because they're not making any money. I guess because they're busy going slow rolling and they're long-nosed Pete's. You know, there are many owner-operators out there that are making money, but here we have this problem. Autonomous trucks are so far in the future, we don't even know. And they did have a somewhat celebrity, as it said in the article on CDL Life, I think. Trucker G was out there talking to the news about it. He was part of the slow roll. So I love it. Remember, as we try not to do drama, but he was on the news. And so remember, he does videos for Driver Solutions. And they're presumably paid videos because he does the video and lets them use it on their channel. Now, I don't know that he gets paid for it because he doesn't say so, like he's required to on YouTube. So he might not be getting paid. But he is doing videos for them. Trucker G for Driver Solutions. So this is the person worried about his job being taken. They're taking our jobs. That's a quote. And he's doing videos for Driver Solutions, one of the worst places to go in the United States for trucking. So keep in mind who you're listening to, who gets on the news. It isn't people that know anything. It's people that have a way into the news. Am I the only guy that remembers the ink pens in the 70s that had 4 different colors? Oh, I remember the ones with like it had 8 or 10 colors in it. They usually had an orange top and were fat for your pinky finger. Yeah. Like your pinky finger. Some of them had even more colors than that. Absolutely. They had green, blue, red, black, and then more of them had yellow and stuff. They had a bunch of colors. Oh, absolutely. I had one of those pens. But you can only write in the blue. You can only write in the blue color, certainly. Yeah. That's good. I should do that, too. Even Gracie doesn't even know what color that is. Yikes. When you're writing in that color. Let's see here. Where'd I go to? Oh, slow everyone down. Pay $30 an hour. Look, I'm with the $10 an hour, 24 hours a day. What's wrong with that? I think that's a great way to do it. All your time is logged and all your time is paid. So if you come in, log in, you're paid until you get back out of the truck to go back to your house. $1,680 a week to start for company drivers. I heard we're going to be taxed on mileage on our personal vehicles. Some states do that already. Doesn't Oregon? I think Oregon does a mileage tax on your personal vehicle already. That's not a bad way to do it. People that drive more pay more. Although it works out that way too now. People that drive more buy more gas. It's not like I filled up the Escape yesterday. I hadn't gotten gas for 3 weeks for it. So we're in a half a tank. So I don't drive much, so it wouldn't affect me much. That's not going to be that much money, though. But it's true. Mileage will be taxed on your personal vehicle at some point, I think. I think it's a good way to do it. Because like electric cars don't pay any gas tax. For driver pay to be as lucrative as it was at the 60s, pay has to be between $8 and $9 per mile. Nice. That won't happen. But it was high right back then because government. So when the government limits the amount of competition, the pay is artificially high. So the pay wasn't real, it was artificial by the government. The government created a high pay. If they don't pay truckers, they could use trains. I don't know if this is cheaper. Well, the thing is, it's tough to get a train to the local store. Some truck drivers are still going to pick the stuff up. The U.S. rail system is crap. They need to build more rails. Nobody takes the train anywhere, though. And we've looked it up because the wife travels to Seattle usually a couple times a year to go see her son. And I've looked at Amtrak. Do you know how much Amtrak is round trip? Number one, you can't take it from Lafayette. It picks up here, but you're not allowed to put any baggage on it here. Even if you keep them with you, you have to pick it up in Chicago. Chicago to Seattle and back is $2,500 on an Amtrak. Crazy. Please don't get fancy with their technology. We will be in silence again. I'm trying not to get too crazy with it. I used to have an orange tabby. Her name was Pumpkin. Yeah, unusual to have a female orange tabby, too. They said like 85% of them are males, so $9 per mile is $500 an hour. That's not going to happen. I'd rather drive my curb sniffer over a long nose. The maneuverability difference is huge. Misty Rabka. I agree. Look, the people driving these long nose trucks as owner-operators, all right, as a company driver, whatever they give me, right? But to go buy one with poor fuel mileage and that, it's just for looks, and looks don't pay the bills. It's a job, okay? It's a job. I always say that. It's not some kind of lifestyle. You don't live a trucking lifestyle when you're not in the truck. It's just a job. Get the best one that you can if you're an owner-operator that will make you the most money. They don't pay extra for long nose trucks to haul their freight around. Captain Flatbed, howdy from Clarksville, Virginia. Hello. Let's see, where to go. Here in West Virginia, electric cars pay a higher yearly registration fee. Here in Indiana, too, full electric pays $250 and hybrids pay $150, I think, is it on the plate. UP Trucker Bob. Today is my last day as in company truck, Mark. I will be my own truck next week. All right, keep me informed about that. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Payment and I see if you're making money. All right, because people want to do it. So, all right, good luck. I hope it goes well, really. I don't want anybody to not do good at it. Taxes are theft. We should not accept new taxes. Mods tax, oxygen use tax will be the next thing. If they could figure out how much each person used, they'll make you wear something where they can read it. I got dinged for having an older car. 2004, I think. I paid my dues and should get a discount for not junking. Why would you get dinged on an older car? Really? Here in Indiana, the plate is based on the age of your car. So after 10 years, your 04, right, is long older than that. You'd pay $57. I think it's $57.25 for an older car like that. So you actually get a discount on that older car. And no inspections here. So as long as they can get started and go down the road, we're all set. If I saw a lot lizard carrying a mattress, would that make her an owner-operator? Well, doggies, that's good. No, but probably Cassius King would go interview her about it. But a 650-horse W900 studio sleeper makes drivers proud. Captain Flatbed. That's exactly correct. And look, if you make money at it, I'm all for it. But, there are the people running these long noses getting $1.25, griping at the government, or $1.40 lease thing, and then going to gripe saying they're not making money. That's no good. If you're getting great money at it, absolutely, right? Then do it. And drivers do like the truck. Drivers like it better. I agree. I like the way they look. You're going to love the way I look. I guarantee it. That guy, I think he's dead. But if I was going to buy a truck, I would get the best fuel mileage possible because that's just more money in my pocket. I love my long nose Pete, especially since I don't pay for fuel. Michael Muller, you do pretty good on fuel, but you don't pay for it. So if they said, hey, Mark, here's a big long nose Pete or whatever, I'd be like, as long as it's legal for the road, I'm in. As a company driver, I don't have any say in it. They never ask us what kind of trucks we want or anything. So, look, as long as it's got road legal, I'm okay with it. I'm down to 4 cars, and my newest is a 77 Wild Bill. Well, when I lived in Illinois years ago, you had the same plate no matter what year the car was, if I remember right. That's how it was. It was one plate fee for everybody, even though you had 2 plates, which I thought was ridiculous. But there wasn't a difference like here in Indiana. When I lived in Hammond, there were a bunch of Illinois plates. People would register their car next door because the Indiana plate fee is pretty high. Okay, on a new car. Believe me, the plates can get pretty expensive here. So you see that down here in Lafayette a little bit, but not as much because we're not as close to the border. Own your own truck and stuff, speed limiters, I'm out. Kevin. Yeah, on a lot of lease purchases, they do limit the speed on them. If you buy the truck yourself, though, I guess you could set it wherever you want. I would have it unlimited like a car, but then only to pass people. I mean, I wouldn't roll along out west, probably at 85, especially the 650 horse W900 studio sleeper. I cannot imagine. What do you think at 80, let's say, would the fuel mileage be in that truck? Going 80, not great probably. But to pass somebody, yeah, I mean, that'd be great. You'd be able to pass. I'm in. Happy Roller Wiener Monday, Texas Trader. Afraid I'm late, so stack on the demerits. I got my own today, believe me. Mark, you're high. No more taxes. Right. Look, no more taxes. We do pay enough. Being a trucker has gotten me really good at baking time on personal road trips. My family says I do too much distance before I stop on braking time. Oh, good. See, being a driver makes you safer in your car. George Costanza started with Melton. All right, they just raised their TARP pay. Got my truck, 2021 Kenworth. Leather seats, heated seat. Are they heated? I don't like leather unless it's heated. I know. First world problems. Inverter and refrigerator. Melton orientation, let me bring my dog to class. Instructor spoiled him. That's awesome. It's a dog on the truck with you, and are the seats heated? The Bull Holland Bulldog. Hood trucks ride like a Cadillac versus a Volvo feeling like a 1972 two-ton truck. If you got to be in a truck for a month at a time, might as well be a Cadillac. I agree. Look, I'm always said that. If an owner-operator wants to buy a long-nose truck, hey, more power to you. More power to you. But if the thing can't be then, I don't think you can say as a business owner, I've made a decision to buy a truck that's not as efficient or whatever business purchase. And so when it comes down to it, I'm not making as much money. So you can't go to the government and say, I need to make more money because of my purchase. That's what I'm saying. Buy whatever truck you want to buy. I'm all for it. That's America. But then when people make those business decisions, they have to be willing to stick with the business decision. Because you could do better on an aerodynamic truck. Chef Matt, if all diesel engines will be banned in California and all internal combustion soon, how are they going to run trains when each engine produces 8,000 horsepower and multiple of those engines per train are on a failing power grid? I don't know what they'll do with trains. Did they exempt trains? I didn't actually hear about that. You know, if they exempted trains or not. And it wasn't engines will be banned. It was that they will not be able to be sold. That's how it was worded. So you couldn't, at a certain point, you will not be able to buy a new vehicle that's internal combustion or diesel. You still can run, it's not going to be one day your car, you're not allowed to use it. You just won't be able to buy a new one. Used cars will still be able to be sold, and used trucks and stuff like that, presumably. I don't know what they said about trains, though. Do you have all your endorsements like a school bus, too? I do not have a bus endorsement, so no. Never had the opportunity to really do buses. Melton has treated me exceptionally well. TARP pay went up to $100. Right, I know Melton just did raise it. So far, I'm very happy leaving Werner. Werner's a good company, but you shouldn't make it your home. It's always just a starter place. And endorsements, tankers, and doubles, triples here. Just like Ike Stevens complained he couldn't make any money with his long-nose stretch frame Pete, blaming the white Volvo Mafia. Well, no, I mean, it depends what you're making a mile. If you're out making $2-3 a mile, you can basically drive any truck you want, right? No problem. You'll make money 6 miles to the gallon even though the new ones do pretty good. You know, but it isn't anybody else. You just have to figure out how to make more money yourself if that's what you want to buy. It's okay if you want to buy a stretch frame Pete with me. Does anybody remember which trucking LTL career did UPS buy to make UPS freight? Yeah, overnight. They bought overnight. Producers of autonomous trucks are going to ask 3 million mile plus drivers to donate their brain for research when they pass on. Can you donate your brain to us? I think Volvo is much better riding truck than the hood trucks. I hate all the wind noise the hood trucks plus having to stop and fuel 3 times a day. Cash is king. Look, I think Volvos, especially with an air front suspension, ride good. You can park them. You know, they're much easier to park, and the inside's bigger. A Pete, I could roll the window down on the passenger side by reaching over to it. I'm just not a fan. But I guess that's why they make different kinds of trucks. They're planning on making magnetic type rail, which they put on the back burner. They have made in other countries. Yeah, mag rail trains, but nobody takes a train here. It's like 10 times the price of flying. For what? And you're riding on tracks that were made in the 1800s. How's Werner for teen drivers? That's a good question. I think you could do better than that. Economics confuses the commies of California. Stop scaring them. Charge Costanza. They are confused by numbers. They called it an older car tax. What state is this? The Horton David. My diesel pickup got taxed $10 for being diesel. They added it twice. $130 for a K95 K2 2500. It went up to $150. And emissions every year for $75 a pop. Nice. Time to move. See, that's the thing. Each state, I think that's how it was set up in the country, which is great. You get to choose which state you want. So all those extra pays, we don't have those here. You could drive that around here in Indiana, no problem. No extra charge, no nothing. No big deal. So, I mean, it's a choice. Come on out here to Indiana. The weather's great, but not today. I have a 79 Ford F-250, wow, that my dad bought new when I was 16 years old. It's now 42 years old and costs you $24 a year to Oklahoma. You rarely drive it. See, that's the way to do it. $24. That's cheaper than it is here. Half price of here, really. $24. Misty Rabka, Volvos are super nice over the road trucks. The interior is more RV-like, especially the big ones. That 860 or whatever, it's pretty nice in there. It's a nice place to be. Well, doggies, if you want to have $1 million in your retirement when you finish your truck driving career, you need to start out with $2 million. That's what people say. Saw a guy die in his truck and get hauled out by the ambulance yesterday, Emperor Dion. I didn't see that, but we did have a driver die a number of years ago in the truck. That's what they said. Somewhere in Ohio. Sleeping, I guess. He just never woke up. And so I assume they gave the truck to somebody else. Yeah, that's terrible. But remember, everybody's day's coming. What are you going to do today to do something extraordinary with your life, as they say? Want to see something funny? Watch Frank Cannon take his road test to work undercover at Transcon. Season 1, Episode 3, Calling Unicorn. What movie would that be in? Call Unicorn? Is that the TV show? Texas Workforce Solutions is granting 80% of the cost of your CDL training, hoping my application gets approved. That's great. Texas Trader. Yeah, so how much is school there? Say it's $7,000. That's $5,600 off. Not bad. Saw a train roll through with more than 40 of the 53-foot reefers. As it rolled through, every reefer was running and nobody monitoring anything. Oh, yeah, right. They don't care. You're supposed to have it set when you drop it off for the rail, if I'm right here. And I'm sure there's someone on the rail that could tell me. The rail just takes the trailer the way you give it to them, right? The air right in front is axle smooth but terrifying in high winds. Jabba, well, everything's a trade-off. The big Bill Conrad with the battery, or was that guy from Baba Black Sheep? I don't get why everyone is scared of autonomous trucks. KLLM says you can do 9 million miles in 34 years. Why do you need autonomous trucks when you can have that kind of efficiency? Imagine how many miles an autonomous truck could do. This guy presumably had to go to the bathroom once a week or something. And, I did give him every February 29th off. That autonomous truck could still drive during that time. Reefers can be monitored remotely. Ours are. We get a robocall if they go out of range. Well, what happens, though, if it's on a railroad? I guess there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going down the road and you get a message. From experience, your fuel economy depends on your RPM and turbo boost. If you're on a hill holding it to the floor to get up a hill with 400 horsepower, you're getting 5. You can get 8 in a hood. Yeah, maybe. But, there's more to fuel mileage than, RPMs. At speed, your fuel economy is most affected by wind resistance. So we want the most efficient vehicle in under 50 miles an hour. That's what they talked about. Then it's driver. I priced an Amtrak from Phoenix to Indy and Chicago to get to the 500. I'd have to drive to Tucson. See, that's the problem. No service to or from Phoenix. And absurdly expensive. Yeah, we can get the train here. It stops here and would go to Chicago. But this is only a business route. You can't even take your luggage with you in the car. So to get to the train, you'd have to drive to Chicago, which I'm sure is a wonderful train station downtown. Union Station or whatever it's called down there. And then get on it. It's super expensive to ride in a train. No way. It's not even close to being, any kind of money. And if that's what it costs to ride the train and nobody's on it, close the trains down. Okay, why? It shouldn't be subsidized. They all say it's being subsidized. The ticket's like $2,600 plus tax, and it's being subsidized. Close it. At the rail, the temp has to be set and fuel must be at a certain level. Wow, Bill. But then you guys, or the rail people, you don't do anything more with it, right? They don't go monitor the temperature or anything. It's up to the carrier to have all that done when it gets on the train. Registration for a 06 Camry in Pennsylvania is $65. A bargain. That's the way to do it. If you want to run an older car, that's the way to do it. It's getting 15 years old, though, now. My wife doesn't, it's going to be able to vote here in a couple of years. My wife doesn't have experience. I think Werner would probably be the best place for us to start teaming. Hopefully it works out. CB, I'll tell you this. I got an email a couple of weeks ago. I've talked about this from a driver who went to Swift because he had experience and he wanted to be able to train his wife. And they do let you do that there. And I have to put this out there that he said, this is the best place he's ever worked. They're getting 6,000 miles a week. They put him on a dedicated account after her 3 months with him. He trained her, and then after 3 months, she's considered a driver. They're getting 60 cents at 6,000 miles a week. She's got 3 months of experience. He said he's not going anywhere. They gave him a new truck. It's a 2020, which I guess is 2 years old now for some places. So he got a new truck, and, they're doing $3,600 a week and all going into one account. That isn't bad. I mean, he's doing 170. With home time, he said he'll do 170 grand, 180 grand. That's pretty good, considering she just started driving a few months ago. So Swift will let you train your partner. Cash's King Trucking, you also can't assume a hood truck has more horsepower. No, you can put a tiny engine in some of them too. Cannon was a PI, went undercover to catch hijackers at Transcon motor lines. Sweet. I think I'm remembering the show right. CDL programs are running $4,600. Oh, so it's a bargain. So they'll pay what, $3,500, $3,200 of that? With some programs backed up 6 months. Everybody wants to get into truck driving until they go and be a truck driver, right? Everybody says, oh, that's going to be the greatest because they watch all these great shows like Maximum Overdrive and think, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then they go and drive and they're like, oh, it's not as great as I thought it would be. There's an 82 International Eagle and nose truck. Wow. Is there an 82 International Eagle still running? And we'll say, yeah, right? 4 stacked headlights, right? 2 on each side. What's the most efficient truck? Well, the most efficient truck is spec'd for what you're doing. It depends what you're doing. When you go buy a truck new, you should go spec it for what you're doing. Weight, what kind of trailer you have, all that kind of stuff is set up, what speed you want to run it, and they will spec it for what you're doing. I want the industry to go full autonomous. I invest heavily already. I'll be fine by then. Well, it'll be a long time, and it will. I don't know if it'll ever go fully autonomous. 100 years until freight can get from point to point without anybody driving the truck at all. That is a long time. But I see the interstate one, I'll see some of that, especially down south. Before the train leaves, the reefer's checked by the railroad. Oh, it is. So as long as it's in set by the amount that the company says, I guess, then it's good to go. I didn't think they did anything with it. Donkey Bite, the one that's sitting in the yard. Yeah, that's the best one. Your 2020 Mustang GT tags are $50 in Georgia. Nice. Very nice. They don't do that here in Indiana. Okay, let me tell you that. It's based on the year of your vehicle and how much it was new. It doesn't matter what you paid for it. And there's a chart. And every year it goes down for 10 years until you're at the lowest amount. So first year on a new vehicle, they get you. My brother, who I teamed with for 9 years, passed on our truck at the TA Sparks, Nevada. October 1st, 2017. Rip Scrappy. Thanks for sharing this, Mark. You're quite welcome. And that's a shame. That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. Thanks for looking up, Mark. I'll see what they got. Never thought about Swift. I know, CB, and that's the thing. Swift is like all up and down. You just don't know. They'll let you train your spouse there. I do know that because a number of people have said there. And then this person said, look, this is what I'm doing here. This is how it is. He got onto a dedicated by just asking them. A team dedicated. So it does the same thing every week at 6,000 miles at 60 cents. That's crazy money. $3,600 into one account because they're married. So it's all one check. What a way to change your life. You can go from basically homeless to making $3,600 a week in a very short amount of time. Autonomous truck is $1 million, 5-year note, $17,000 a month. Hey, no problem. You don't have to pay a driver. Drivers cost a lot of money. Workman's comp, unemployment. Ask any company, right, that has drivers. Drivers, it's not just your pay. They're very expensive. You got to give them days off. They get sick, all this kind of stuff, right? They give you grief. Autonomous truck doesn't care about any of that. The autonomous truck doesn't have road rage or any of that stuff. The Bullhorn Bulldog, new Pete's come 63. Yikes. You can set it wherever you want, though. You got to pay for the cleanup. Nice. In our experience, the Cascade is extremely efficient. Yeah, look, I think they are. But the driver costs a lot of money too, right? What if we could eliminate the driver? Let's be honest. Whatever you pay the driver, say a driver gets 60 cents, there's a lot more cost per mile in that driver than the 60 cents. New car taxes and tags in Colorado will close to $1,000. It depends on the car here. They can get pretty high here. I will say the Escape, first year, $440 a year for one plate. So that's on a 19 Escape and 19. George Costanza had 2 experienced drivers at Melton orientation get sent home. Why? What happened? 7 were in the experience class, and I was the only one who wasn't a rehire by the end of it. Who shows up late to orientation? I'm here. Oh, you guys already start? Is it like Spicoli showing up? Did he have a pizza with him? Hey, I'm just here to eat some pizza, learn about history. Nice. Show up late. Oh, what time you guys start anyways? Just showing up late to orientation, boom, you're gone. You're out. Come on. Why the crap is it adding arrow and change shirt color on emojis? I don't know. Change shirt color. I don't do a lot of emoji writing. The Bulldog new X15 Cummins at Pete's runs 530 to 565. That's a good way to do it, right? We're at 425 Detroit's. It's okay here in Indiana. No need for a moment of silence. We took care of that at the beginning of the show. No doubt. Wow, Bill. Thank you for reminding me of that. Maximum overdrive is an autonomous truck. Look how that turned out. That's what I'm saying. That wasn't great. And I'm not clowning around about that either. They have a 650 horsepower version too. Yikes. Even at $17 a month, it would still be cheaper. Well, the thing is, Mob, they can run that autonomous truck 24 hours a day. And remember, the trucks are a write-off. But you can run the truck day and night. As efficient as you want. You tell it, don't exceed 61 or whatever, and it won't. 60 miles an hour. It won't be like the driver. They can save on lytics costs. Okay, think about whatever the monthly lytics cost is you wouldn't have to have for that stupid camera. All the cameras are gone. That's one way to get cameras out of the trucks. Take the drivers out of the trucks. Look, I just solved the driver cam issue. Never even thought about it. I have a DD16 605 with a tuner on it and love it. You can get up the hills pretty good with that. The 07P to my little picture here had a 625 Caterpillar engine. The owner had 115 of them. It averaged 3.9 miles a gallon running 80 on the Kansas Turnpike. There you go. So set at 80, you're getting 3.9. And look, if you can get $3 a mile or whatever, I say get out there and make some money. I do containers. Doesn't matter what you drive, you're getting bad mile per gallon. But containers are not that efficient. It seems like all those little bumps on the side, not great, right? Not smooth. Although I've seen some refrigerated ones that kind of had a smooth side on them. Not great either way. Let's see. Hunts Point went on strike. This is what drivers always talk about. All the people that unloaded Hunts Point went on strike. Boom. A couple days later, they got a raise that they wanted. $1.85 an hour over 3 years. Imagine that. So what happened is they didn't come to work, and then the company didn't just fire them. That's what I always hear from drivers when I tell them at one company, go at the certain company, why don't all of you just walk off the job tomorrow? Well, they'll fire us all. No, you'll get a raise just like these people did at Hunts Point. Did you see that at Hunts Point Market? So I guess if it was uphill both ways, you do better off with a hood truck. Ski trucking. As long as both ways you're going up, the hoods do better. Working as a company driver, hoods are fine with me then. Working for FedEx Ground and got a dedicated route, making $1,600 a week gross, but only working 4 days a week. That's really good money, right? That's super good. How many hours do you work with that? No driver, no sleeper, right? You wouldn't need a sleeper. Bigger tanks. It could be put in a tank straight through and no stopping. Coast to coast. I could see 2 200-gallon tanks on this truck, and it goes coast to coast. At each end, you just pull in somewhere. They could have their own terminal where they just have some guy that's paid $10 an hour fill the trucks up. That's nothing. You'll be up to 100,000 pounds with containers. Some of the shorties, it seems like, when I hauled them in Chicago, rail to rail, many years ago, even the 20-footers, I think some of them were super heavy. You barely could move this thing around, although it was a 5-speed Mack with a window in the back. But still, I'm like, holy mackerel, this thing is super heavy. It had no lights, no brakes or anything. Oh, that was trucking right there. What do you think about Mr. Biden's plan for 401k plans? I would love to get a 401k plan. Wish I had an employer. I don't know what his plan on 401ks. Isn't that an employer thing? Like we have a 401k here, and isn't that an employer? Is the government going to offer some kind of 401k for people? What would happen with truck parking if all the trucks became autonomous trucks? Oh, well, they wouldn't need to park, right? An autonomous truck doesn't need to park anywhere because it goes just point to point. I moved a 20-foot container that had 59,000 pounds on it. That's what I'm saying. I had some of these shorties, and I'm moving them around. And I'm like, holy mackerel, this thing is super heavy. Fortunately, I'm only going 8 miles with it or whatever to the next rail yard. But yeah, and it seems like the UP on Cermak, didn't you have to turn? No, this is a long time ago. You went in up a road that went up a hill, and you had to turn a really tight corner and go up again. Am I at the right place? Wasn't that the UP? And is that all been redone? I'm team, so drive 10 hours a day. Right. But imagine the autonomous truck drives 24 hours a day. And you'll soon be able to split, it looks like, your sleeper any way you want. 5.5 all the way to 8.2. Cash is King Trucking. They can have autonomous fuel trucks fuel the autonomous trucks right while going down the road. I do think that they'll be able to fuel the truck wherever it goes, as we see from semis, and they can already fuel your car. There have been a number of years for that, where they'll just fuel your car. So there's no reason that the truck ever has to go really anywhere other than freight to freight. I would like to see it fuel going down the road, though. It could do it. I buddy test these self-driving machines, believe they will rule the road in less than 2 years. No way. No way. You'll have some of them running around the South, and that's it. Now, that's an idea, just like filling planes in the air, Captain Flatbed. Yeah, look, if they can fill up a plane in the air, there's no reason two trucks couldn't pull up next to each other, match their speed exactly, and have a hose go across there. Marathon, isn't it Marathon? They have autonomous fueling for your car at some stations. I've seen a video about it. You tell it what kind of car you have first, so it knows where the thing is. You either pop the fuel door, or it has a little suction cup, because like my door doesn't pop, and it opens the door up, it sticks it on there, and it puts the pump in there and fills your car up, and just charges your card, shuts your fuel door, and bingo, you leave. You don't ever have to get out of your car. They don't have them here yet. I wanted to try one, and the stations here don't have them. Because plus, on a hood truck as resale, you could find used Volvos for 20 grand at 10 years old. A 10-year-old hood truck will still have 75 to 100,000 in value. If that's not a bad thing if you're the one that owns the truck. I'll give you that. But it would seem like then, wouldn't companies do that? Why wouldn't companies buy those trucks if it's that much more money? I mean, seriously. Oh, wow, Bill, that was Canal Street. Okay, right. Maybe it was 22nd and Canal, somewhere over there. And is it still built like that, or do you even go over there? I just want to see one go on 285 rush hour during a rainstorm, or I-94 go through Chicago. Well, they'd have to set it at 85 miles an hour to go through Chicago. He's going to let people do a 401k without having the employer set it up. Oh, you could go through your designated provider like Vanguard. Hope he gets it passed. Oh, that'd be pretty interesting. So you could just set up your own 401k. Then I guess it goes with you job to job, although there's no match. Like the good thing about an employer one is you get free money from your employer usually. Well, Bill, it remains the same today. All right, yeah. All right. So I had to drag those little containers up that and make that tight turn up to the top there where they inspect the trailers on the way in or whatever. And that is a tight turn with a heavy container. Would love to talk to Mr. Love about his business model. Who's Mr. Love? Travis. He's building new truck stops. Oh, Mr. Love's right. He's building new truck stops like wildfire. He's very bullish on the future of trucking. Yeah, because there's more trucks coming. More drivers will be needed. Absolutely. Right? It is a long time before there's less drivers needed year after year. There's more people. We all need stuff. And where's my Meyer drivers, too? Get some stuff going on at Meyer. The store's getting emptied. Don't forget this lovely bias ply tires mounted on Dayton wheels on those old containers. Dave Johnson, that's correct. That's true. If they were all full, you were lucky. And you had a few lights running on them, man, you thought you hit the lottery. Michael, have you heard whether the new administration is going to discard the Trump rules? I mentioned the FMCSA vision rule. I did talk about this a little bit last week, that you're going to be able to drive with basically one good eye and one eye that does not meet the requirements, with a kind of a note from your doctor, where your doctor says, like an optometrist, an ophthalmologist will say, okay, his vision is good, it'll work out for this, and you can take that in and get the exemption a lot easier. So if that's one of the things that you're having, they are going to be able to, they're working on that right now. They will have a refueling plane to fly to refuel the trucks. Oh, that'd be pretty good. Korean Mafia Cascadia gets 7.5 with an empty container and 6.2 loaded. Lots of wind on I-10. Right. That's still not bad out there with all the wind and a container. Who would buy all the high-priced stuff inside the truck stops without truck drivers? Who would buy the Flying J pizza? Who's going to buy the armor? Well, that'd be a problem, right? Truck stops will gripe about it, too, in that if the trucks start coming in with no drivers, at the worst, they'll fuel only. And what'll happen is the companies will work it out with some truck stop chain and say, look, we have all these trucks. We'll fuel exclusively there, but you got to come out and fuel our truck. I could see that happening. They used to fuel your trucks anyways. A lot of places would fuel your truck. So the truck, they'll say, we only fuel a pilot, and pilot will just have somebody go out there and fuel the truck. I could see that going on if necessary, but they'll just run coast to coast. Cash is King Trucking. Yeah, you could spend an extra $30,000 on a hood truck when you buy it. So it should have higher resale. I'm thinking, look, if it has all this resale, which they probably do. I always hear people talking about, oh, that's what they're looking for. Why wouldn't companies buy them? If at the end of its life they made more money with a hood, even if it used more fuel, they made a total of more money, they'd buy them. I think they'd buy them. Or are they just concerned that people will wreck them? I mean, already we see trucks with all the wings and stuff ripped off them all the time. I had a trailer the other day and only had one wing underneath the trailer. On the other side, it was just all the hangers were all bent. I guess somebody ripped it off on something. I love it. I wonder if they could be programmed to fill up cars with one filler neck behind the tag. Oh, that'd be a good place for it, like my old Chevy. They do know where the filler thing is at the marathon, though. What's your take on TFI, purchasing UPS freight? Are they related to CFI? No. I did look at that, and they don't seem to be related to CFI. From what I could see, it's TFI International. It's some large company, and they bought UPS. Probably people are going to get a pay cut. That's what I think. In Oregon, we have the analog version of automated fueling. So does New Jersey. What's that mean? Why not fly a KC-135? Oh, because somebody comes and fills the car up for you. Right. Because people are too dumb to fill up their own car. Why not fly a KC-135 over the highway to fuel a moving truck? You could just dump it out and have like a big funnel on top of the trucks. Those containers could roll over easy. I know. And that was a tight turn. Apparently it's still there at Canal Street. And that's really something. Taking a 53-foot trailer to Canal Street is a challenge. I never had that. When I did those, they didn't have 53s yet. 48 was it. The law didn't change yet. So they were just 48s, and it was still long going in there. But the 20s were so heavy, that was really something going up there. A fuel chopper. Get in the chopper. Do you do any truck shows or go to any events? I'd like to meet you. Yeah, I have that down. The next truck show, because they keep getting closed, would have been at the Mid-America show at the end of March, not happening. So the next truck show is the Truckers Jamboree, and I'll be there on July 10th. So it's July 8th to the 10th, and that is in Walcott, Iowa, at the largest truck stop in the world, Iowa 80 there. So that's the next thing, unless it gets canceled. Mid-America might be September, and it might be next year. They said they're going to make an announcement by February 15th. So, but that canceled. Everything keeps getting canceled, or I would go to all of them. Walcott Truckers Jamboree, July 10th. In Walcott, Iowa. Be there at the world's largest truck stop. See you there. We'll eat some pork chops. Ken caught mine on Utah as a crappy place to yank oversized in American Truck Simulator. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe in the future, all us drivers will be computer operators and operate the truck from an office. Someday that kind of thing will happen. There'll be a lot of those. But still local, around town through Chicago and stuff, there's going to be local drivers for 100 years before they figure that out. It's going to be a long time before there's no drivers. Are they bringing per diem back for company drivers? They said they're talking about it, and we can deduct expenses like an owner-operator. Well, they talked about per diem. They didn't talk about expenses. You theoretically can deduct expenses now. Any work-related expense, and I'm not a tax person, okay, so call H&R Block for that, or call your local FMCSA field office. But any work-related expense you can deduct now. But the problem is it's never more than your standard deduction, which is really high. So everybody takes the standard deduction if you don't have enough deductions. But like if you buy gloves for work, that's a deduction now. Even as a company driver, they're work-related only. But when you get a $12,000 standard deduction, you probably didn't buy $12,000 of gloves. The per diem, though, they actually talked about the per diem might come back. They want the per diem to come back. And they are also talking about a year of heavy vehicle use tax being canceled. So they're talking about canceling. And I looked that up. It's $550 a truck. So if you're a company driver, it won't affect you. And if you're an owner-operator, you'd save $550 for 1 year on the heavy vehicle use tax. But company drivers would get their per diem back. They're just talking about it. Could it happen? Yeah, I think it could. $60-something a day, they said now. You'll always be next up for a shower. The companies don't want to pay the extra $20,000 to buy a hood for someone to crash it and pay repairs. Most company drivers don't respect the truck. Well, a company driver should, if not respect the truck, not crash into things. How about that? Just being a professional, it seems like, don't wreck the truck. Just like at any job, don't wreck the things that work gives you. It just seems like a simple thing. The truck, you should bring it back at the end of however long you drive it the way they give it to you. That just seems like the thing to do. Because company drivers destroy trucks, I guess because they figure, look, they're going to wreck a Freightliner Cascadia. Just give them that. They're going to tear the wings and bumper off it and everything else. If you want a hood truck, buy a hood truck. That's no economical reason. They have higher resale because they cost more when you buy them. Cash is king trucking. So it starts out more, it ends up more. I still think if it made sense financially, companies would just have them and just eat whatever the difference is. Roger Penske, Dave, I've had a blowout with Dayton in Quartzsite. A guy had to come up from Yuma. No one in the Q continuum could do it. Dynamic Trucking has long hood Pete's. Oh, nice. There's some company, Smith, which has a terminal Remington. They advertise around here all the time. They have long hood Pete's up there, some of them. The shower cleaning guy is also going to be the fuel guy. That's correct. They'll have somebody in there, believe me. There get to be enough of these trucks. They'll have a deal with Pilot, like a lot of companies do, or Loves or whatever, and say, look, when our truck pulls in, it'll call you because it knows where it is. And so it'll call you and tell you what fuel pump it's in, kind of like picture it in the voice from 2001, A Space Odyssey, and it will tell you what fuel island it's in, and you come out and fill it up and just bill us. Mark, do you think electric trucks will make a major or minor impact? It's going to be a long time for that, too. They just talked about that they are working on an electric truck that can put 500 miles of range in it in 30 minutes. But the batteries weigh 8,000 pounds. But there's no engine in it. So during your 30-minute break at the right place, you could put 500 more miles in it. That is going to be a tremendous amount of energy. And how hot those batteries would get, putting that kind of energy into it would be just incredible. Just incredible. I'm positive that eventually they'll be able to do that. I do think so. And see who got the positive joke. But it's going to be a long time for it. According to Billy Raines, TFI is the parent company of CFI, Michael Muller. That is, look, it's possible. It wasn't in the article, and I couldn't find a connection to them, but certainly possible. They own a lot of things. TFI owns Transport America and CFI. All right. Thanks, Mark. I have a retina and cataract problem and need 2 surgeries. Michael, look, they're talking about that you'll be able to go kind of like diabetes and stuff, where you'll be able to go in, work with your doctor, have him fill the thing out, and you take it, and if you otherwise pass the physical, you'll be able to pass it. That's what they're saying. So, yeah, I think it's coming. About 35,000 empty and 75,000 loaded. Yikes. Hello, Paul Vines. What's happening? That makes sense. Sometimes I'm 100,000. Holy mackerel. I wouldn't want to take that up Canal Street. Run-day trucks will hover a foot off the ground. Captain Flatbed. Boy, that is a long time away. How'd you like to have to fix that? I'm waiting for autonomous trucks to start my fleet. Yeah, I wonder if you'll be able to start a fleet of them like that. Well, you can lease them. You know what? There are drivers that probably lease that truck from you. Buy a bunch of internationals, retrofit them with autonomy, and lease them out to drivers at $1.05 a mile. At the Walcott truck stop, they have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the menu, $12. In small print, it says only kidding. Wow. Oh, that's sweet. I haven't been out there in years. It's going to be great to go back out there. I hope that they still have it. It's outside. I didn't know why they didn't have it last year. TFI bought UPS freight and CFI. Yeah, TFI just bought UPS freight, right. I have in my possession Marty McFly's hoverboard. That's what we need right now. Don't overweight containers require one that is rated for more than 45,000 pound load. With resell, you're basically the sell with both. You come out at the same at the end. 2001 A Space Odyssey with Hal. Yeah, that's going to be the voice. When they talk to the truck on the Loves, it's going to say truck or whatever. And that's how it's going to talk to them, what aisle it's in and everything. Can you imagine a bunch of self-driving trucks smacking the electric pumps? That's going to be something. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Right. I thought TFI on CFI and Transport America. Hey, everybody, the Princess of Dixie Hill here. Hey, what's going on? Hope everyone is doing well. It's good to see you. What are you doing, Dave? I'm sorry, I can't do that. Not much difference price if you look at them new. We buy both hood and aero trucks depending on what the driver wants. Key is to find a gig that pays great and drive what you like. Yeah, look, if it makes enough money, right, at a certain price, it makes more. But you have to admit that the truck that uses less fuel makes more money for the person that owns the truck because that's a cost. So if you can keep that cost down, you just have more money in your pocket. That's no problem. If you want to buy a new truck, though, that's a long hood truck or whatever, and you like it, do it, because there's no point in doing a job that you don't like. There's just no point in it. So absolutely buy it. TFI is going to bust a union at UPS. Oh, absolutely. That was the idea. GP Transco's taken off. Thanks for another great show. All right, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Another accountant job, I'm sure, open up over there. Fascinating. It's good to see you, though. I will look for that 3D video, too. Roller Weiner Monday snowed in Route 29 in Percival, Iowa. I saw that somebody's coming. Hey, at least you stopped somewhere. GP Transco, I'm looking forward to the day you say that to me. Wild Bill is waiting to go over there. What are we? Let's get him over there. Oh, all federal property has a mask mandate now. Okay, so are you ready for that? Does anybody go into federal property? So 100-day mask mandate. Actually, they said there's no end to it, but at the moment, no end point. But he did say 100 days to start with. So if you deliver on federal property to a federal building, federally rented or federal property of any kind, a military base, anything like that, or pickup, mask mandate. You will not be allowed on the property without it. So I know people have written to me and said, I don't wear a mask or whatever. Do you go on federal property ever? And it includes if you have to go get a federal license for something. It's inside of a federal building. You'll be required to wear a mask to get in the building. So is anybody doing that? Well, man, the madness, the mayhem, and the monkeys and the movie. When autonomous trucks block the fuel line after fueling, there won't be anyone there to get mad. Well, it'll be one truck will be like beeping at the truck in front of it, in like computer beeps where it beep, 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 and it's got like a display of ones and zeros. It'll send a bunch of ones and zeros because it'll be holding up another autonomous truck behind it. They'll be yelling at each other in some kind of code, kind of like this will be pretty obscure, right? The Binars, which is a Star Trek episode. So anybody that's into that will know what I'm talking about. Federal property mandate. Joe Biden, he is not required to wear one. He exempted himself, I assume. That is interesting that you see him without one, because he should then wear it because he mandates it on federal property, and the White House or that kind of thing would also be included, and it would be a good example to set. I'm always sad when I see that at companies that I go to, where it says mask, on the door or whatever, you go in it and they're not wearing a mask. Well, if you're the one that wants me to wear a mask, you should be wearing a mask too. So I agree with you on that. And I'm not an anti-mask kind of person, but I just want to put that out there that because people have written to me, federal property, people do deliver to bases and other federal properties. I was in Douglas, Arizona in a hotel on New Year's Eve 2000. Oh, what was going on that day? Did you plug up the toilet and fill it with water? I might have done that. How can you sleep at night when a non-driving 18-wheeler back up on the side of you? Well, I would say it's probably more likely to get backed in there properly than some drivers. Think about that. It's not tired from driving all day. It's not thinking about being away from its family. It's not sick. It's not waiting for a vacation or a holiday, right? It's like Terminator. It has no remorse, no forgiveness. It doesn't care. It's just there to do its job. Do you need a mask on BLM land or national parks? Any federally owned property, it said. Any federally managed property also. So presumably, yes. H&R Block sent me a text telling me I will need a mask and they will take my temperature. Well, really? And that's just random people, not even people that go in there. I do TurboTax, which I recommend to people. I've used it for many years. So, and not sponsored. Big Huge Mike, hey, what's going on? There will also be someone in the vehicle to monitor the autonomous vehicle. Well, for now, but they're working on nobody in there. Airports, absolutely airports. They're already mandated, at least here, because I take the wife down to Indianapolis Airport a couple times a year. So down there again last year, right? Absolute mask mandate in there already. So I assume it will be all airports. If any airport doesn't have one, which I can't imagine, if you go to Indianapolis Airport, mandated. Must have one. They have them to give to you as well. If you don't have one, they'll give you one. People go to jail for taking bribes and blackmail too. Not some people. Binars, the elite of holodeck construction. Welcome to the world of truckers. I'm glad somebody got it. Good, because that's how they talk to each other. I was glad about that. We'll either lower out wages or raise them, but I'll bet thee first. Oh, it won't help at all. Because if you can get a truck to do your job for free. Cashless King Trucking. Am I the only one that thinks the autonomous trucks will be better at backing? Have you seen some people backing at the truck stop? It's a joke. Oh, look, I go through this all the time. There are people, I'll have teams come in. I'm watching teams, and they're like, one guy's out there I don't know what he's doing, having an epileptic fit. I don't know what's happening. And the other guy is all over the place. Oh, my God. Why are we blindsiding in with a spotter and still can't get in? Just go around. I'm like, go around. And he's like, ugh. And it can be hacked and used for bad things downside of autonomous trucks. Well, we'll see. They'll say, no, they're not hackable. Self-driving vehicles can get sick. It's called a computer virus. Right. But it won't be worried about getting home. It doesn't have any feelings. It doesn't need a day off. It's not waiting for a holiday to go on vacation. It's not thinking about anything except what it's doing. It's not being distracted in any way by the ladies walking around there, the workers, you know. Kevin, Mark, thank you for making Mondays great again, but got to go. All right, see you around. All right, well, it's good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Credit Karma does taxes for free, files it too. I'm curious to what my last good tax return will look like this year. I don't know. I pay, I don't use the free version, so it's like $139 or something for taxes, which is tax deductible, which is nice. The least socially distanced people I've seen on TV are Pat Sajak and Vanna White at the start of Wheel of Fortune. There's some kind of thing in Hollywood that if everybody's tested, then everybody can work together and all that kind of stuff. That's how they got TV shows back on the air. I wonder if a deer jumps in front of it, will it know it's a deer and just hit it? What if a child runs for it? Will it know it's a child and try to avoid it? Well, that's the thing. They showed a Tesla video from a Model S a while ago, and it saw the deer off in the distance, and they showed the video, and you could not see a deer. It slowed down. Just because something was in the road, you couldn't see it. Interesting. I thought that was pretty interesting. The Pentagon was hacked. Well, that was a while ago. That was 2001, but that's another story. Yeah, but that virus can make it run red lights, stop signs, and ignore speed limits. Maybe. Autonomous trucks will hunt you down to replace you, like the Terminator. Absolutely, and it will have no remorse, no forgiveness, no anything. And that's what they were saying at this slow roll, which was generously attended by 12 trucks, that they, quote, they're coming for our jobs, unquote. Well, the thing is, the same government that these owner-operators that were there griping about, they want to protect their jobs. So the government is bad unless it helps them. You can't have it both ways. You're not entitled to a certain job for any period of time. So that's not how it works here. I mean, what did we do when cars came? Oh, they're coming for our jobs. Same kind of thing? I don't know. Technology comes. Be ready for it and be ready to do the next thing. I can back into a tight dock with cars, dumpsters, and curbs or other obstacles with few problems. Make it a truck stop with trucks on both sides, and it'll take me forever. Well, see, that's the thing. The truck will be able to do it without any problem, hopefully. I'm just going to put stickers down the roadway to make the autonomous truck pull over and stop. Then I'm going to steal everything out of the back of it. Did you see that video where they did that? They just changed the road signs, and the car drove into the opposite lane. So something simple as that can fool them at the moment. $8 of tape. Does Amazon pay owner-operators good? I don't know. Is there an owner-operator here that has run an Amazon load? What do you think about that? I don't know what the loads pay. I'm always afraid if I have to be on the brakes for more than, where did I go off to? Oh, for more than a few seconds, I'm going to burn them even if I'm not on a hill. Luke, they'll last quite a while. They're pretty big, and they got a lot of surface area. No problem. Park assist for some drivers might be a good idea. Look, I'll tell you this. The Escape has Ford Park Assist. You press a button. It finds a parking spot for you. So you drive along a line of cars like downtown Lafayette. Press a button. It scans the side, whichever side you want, of the road. And when it sees the spot big enough, it beeps at you. You just put in reverse. It turns the steering wheel. Now, I tried it. It makes me nervous. It gets very close to the cars, but because of all the sensors, it can park itself. Parks itself in the spot, boom, you're done. Why can't a truck do that? It would need sensors and cameras along the trailer to do that. That'd be much better. But there's no reason that an autonomous truck with a trailer that's hooked up to it couldn't park better than a person. It got closer to the cars than I would have. It'll parallel park or it will perpendicular park into a lined spot. So if you're at a mall or whatever, you can back into a lined spot and it'll pull in for you using its sensors. Why can't a semi do that? There's no reason it couldn't do it. I don't use it because it makes me nervous because it gets really close. But it would work no matter what. Problem, would it work in the snow? Probably not. All the sensors would be covered. They're on the bumpers and alongside the car. What do you think about a parking valet service? Stop. What do you think about stop parking valet service at a truck stop with 4 or 5 yard mile? Stop. They used to run, I don't know if they still do it, but Walcott used to have a shuttle service, at least during the day, kind of like the Disney shuttle, which was open on both sides. And you kind of hop on it and get a ride up to the building. So on a big lot, that's not a bad idea. Maybe they could do it at Ontario, and they could be a party service. They take you to the back row if there was no parking back there. Go back there and party, and at 4 in the morning, they take you back to your truck, so you can leave at 5. I wonder if robot trucks will be able to see out the passenger side while backing. Well, I think that with sensors over there, yeah, I think so. I looked into it, and Amazon does not pay good, less than $2 a mile. Jason Jefferson. There we go. Less than $2 a mile for an Amazon load. That's why the trucks hauling it are only average value of about $14,000. It seems like around here. Although they're getting good fuel mileage because parts of them fall off periodically during the day. Gear jammer. I really don't like it when I'm backing up and someone jumps out of the truck to help guide me. I can do it myself. That's very irritating. Do what I do, which is tell them, don't bother. I'll go get out of the truck and talk to them. It makes them mad. But I agree with you. I never let anybody back me in. Not because I'm a jerk, maybe because I'm a jerk too, that's what they would think. Because you're the one ultimately responsible if you hit something. If they're guiding you, you don't know who this person is. Who knows who this person is? You're responsible. So I never let people back me in no matter where it is. I always tell them, hey, don't worry, I got this, everything is fine. I'm going to get in here, I do this, this is what I do. This is what they pay me to do, I got it. All right, no problem. So because usually at a dock or whatever, it's somebody, they'll go get a forklift guy. Right, I got it. But at a truck stop, no. Don't worry about it. I got it. And that's why, because say you hit another truck, that guy's gone. You look around, that person's gone. You're responsible. Don't let people back you in, no matter where it is. 4 or 5 yard mules in a landing dock. That'd be something. Big, huge Mike, I'm still trying to figure out why they don't just fix the problem, because when bad weather hits, it's going to need a driver. And if they have drivers that never driven, it'll get interesting. Well, they're going to work it out. There's no reason they can't heat all these sensors and stuff, which is what they should do. It's going to start in the south first. That's where they're working on all of it. And look, if it snows just a little bit, you get a little snow on the car, the thing beeps on there that the sensors are covered. So I will say that's a problem. And so in the wintertime, it doesn't work as good. The lane keeping thing, which is at the top of the windshield, is heated in the car, so that works all the time because you'll remote start it and that will melt out immediately. But the sensors on the bumper are not heated, so the parking thing doesn't work. Those sensors still work covers with snow and ice. They don't work on my car covered with ice or snow because it'll just beep and you have to hit the button to turn them off. Looks like Amazon loads pay good in the fourth quarter of the year when they need capacity. And when they need you, then they're there for you. But that's free market, right? There actually was a job picking up horse duty. And see, so that person's out of a job. Is that right? Is that right should that person be able to go to the government and say, even though there's technology, I have a job and I'm entitled to this job? I don't think so. Nobody's entitled to a job, at least in America, for any period of time, any certain period of time. Like, this is my job. And so even if there's technology, I have to keep this job my whole life. I don't think so. Is Cassius king a thief? I don't think so. Thief is a harsh word. I like to think of myself as a roadside freight relocator. Yes, exactly. Federal masks are complicated. No mandate now. His order tells the departments to make a policy. See, that's a problem. But I will say the airport in Indianapolis as a sign on the door, and they mandated it the last couple times we were down there. And we'll be down there again probably in a few months for Delta, because it's the way to really fly, right? Everything I've read says Amazon pays very well, even for straight box trucks. 190 miles for $700 on a box truck? That's pretty good. That'd be good money in a box truck. Holy mackerel. I knew you were wholesome, right? When cars first came out, did the horses get together and do a slow walk, ear jammer? That's the problem. People think because they have a job. Because people, I never understood this. People like take trucking like it's their life or something. Like, to me, trucking is a job. I work at a place and they pay me and then I leave. It's like any other job that I've ever worked at. I didn't think like I had an Arby's lifestyle when I managed an Arby's. It wasn't like a lifestyle. I'm like, I'm Mr. Roast Beef or whatever. It just wasn't that way. And it's the same with driving. It's a job to me, but people feel like this is my life. Like, there's more to life than what you do at work. Work is the money that you make so that you can go do a life that you want to make. That's why I don't work much, probably less than most people. I don't make as much as most people at work. I do good an hour, but I don't make a lot because I don't work that many hours, because I don't want to. I could work almost double the hours. We have long daily runs that are really long, but I don't want to do them because work just saps all your life out of you. There's no point to it. So go make money some other way besides all that. And don't worry, if your job goes away, just go get another job. Plenty of jobs. They're all over the place here. Subaru down there can't get enough people to walk in the door. Morongo Casino in Palm Springs has a shuttle to the various buildings. They ought to, right? If they can hijack the government, they can hijack the autonomous trucks. Look, that's going to be a problem. There's going to be some of them early that get hijacked. Some people get killed, but, collateral damage, they'll say. And, don't worry, we're working on it. And they'll just pay some people off, and eventually you'll get the trucks. But it's going to be highways. It's going to be long-distance highways, El Paso to Dallas, that kind of thing, out there first. El Paso to Houston, that'd be a good one. That's one day for an autonomous truck. Boom, turn around, next day, you're back. Next morning, you're back. Those trucks are one of the only trucks in America that can run more miles than Cassius King Trucking can run in one day. If they can, at my place, we have guys been there 10 years or more and still can't back up. Why is that? I'll see that occasionally where a spotter is like doing 12 pull-ups into a spot. What are we doing here? I mean, this guy's got a truck that's 4 feet long. Why can he not get this thing backed into the spot? Why am I waiting for a spotter truck? Come on. But yeah, I agree. After 10 years in the spotter truck, if you can't back up, it may be time to move on and do something else. Snow covers the road markings. That is a problem. I'll give you for the lane keeping. So in this snowy weather, and I agree with you because the Escape has this, you get 2 lines on the dashboard. Depending which side it reads, the lines are white or not. So, and then they turn green. When it reads the lines, they go green. So in the snow, the lines just turn off of there, and that side doesn't work. So that's correct. I'll agree with you on that, right? When it snows covers the road, it can't read the road. Oh, now you're called Mr. Roast Beef, right? Because I'm the roast beef lifestyle. Nobody at any other job thinks it's a lifestyle. If I go down, I know people around here that work at Subaru. I'm like, are you living the Subaru lifestyle? They'll be like, no, I just work at Subaru. I don't know why these 12 people that do this slow roll think they have some kind of trucking lifestyle. You're not entitled to that job for any period of time. It isn't your life. It's a job. Don't make a job your life. You're making somebody else rich. Forget that. Don't live to work, work to live. And absolutely right. That money people use, and what do? They go on vacation. You don't go visit other trucks. Okay, you go somewhere else. So absolutely. I worked at Little Caesars. That made me the doctor of pizza. Little Caesars, right? Pizza. Who remembers that? Wild Bill will start a valet service with 4 or 5 yard mules. He needs to over there to make a little bit extra money before he gets that big call from GP Transco that we're trying to get. Kitty Ling, sorry you're late. Well, welcome to the show. You do need help, Wild Bill, but soon that phone call will be coming in for you, right? Okay, so this is a reason I saw this. Not to park in a spot that's not a parking spot, right? A guy parked at a fruit stand in California, right? I didn't write that down. I should have. Okay. And so he stopped there, and probably 2 minutes later, a car ran into the back of his truck. His company had to pay out $2.4 million, killed somebody. Now, he said, I was stopping to check my oil. It turns out the fruit stand, of all things, has a security camera. And they showed him just getting out of his truck, walking over to the fruit stand. So he parked this truck illegally, right, to walk to the fruit stand to get a mango or whatever. And somebody died for it. Parking trucks, I see this on the interstate and stuff all the time. It's so unsafe. And yes, the other person shouldn't be running into him. But somebody else, I guess, had tried to make an illegal U-turn, forced this person over, and they ran into his truck. So parking illegally can get somebody killed, even though you're not trying to kill someone. I was just trying to get a piece of fruit. I needed my guava for the day or whatever. Don't park illegally. I'm surprised I haven't been censored. Everyone, or just about everyone, every site has. Well, I try to keep out of the kind of censor range, I do try to, believe me. Oh, goodness. Kenneth Snyder, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Goodness, I made my goals, too. When it's tight, difficult, or blindside back, I can hit it one shot, a wide open space. It looks like my first day, especially if there's no lines. I hate backing up somewhere and there's no lines, and then you're like all crooked. Subaru lifestyle as lesbian with 2 dogs. I don't know. Do they like Subarus? Hey, if they sell the car to them, I'm all set. Mark has the meats. I've got the meats. It was America's roast beef, yes, sir, back then. I've never mistaken my job for my life. 1 Beavis 13. Right. But that is the problem when people do the slow roll and think like they're entitled to that job. Because the thing was, that's a quote, they're taking our jobs for autonomous trucks. But it's not your job. It's a job that you do. That's the difference. It isn't your job, right? You're doing a job. That's it. And if the job is gone, you have to do a different job. Love the Arby's horsey sauce. Oh, that stuff was good, right? That was an expensive piece of fruit. That's what I'm saying. Now he's a company driver, presumably, but right. Fired, you have this on your record and all this. But the real expense was somebody died. Somebody died because this person wanted to park somewhere, an illegal parking spot, then lie about why they stopped. He said he wanted to check because there was a burning oil smell. That's why he pulled over to stop. But turns out it's like the only fruit stand in America with the security camera. And all he did is jump out of his truck and head over to the fruit stand. Never opened his hood, didn't look at anything, nothing. And so they ended up having to settle for $2.4 million for a piece of fruit. And they probably didn't even buy the fruit for him. The driver that parked illegally probably needed some vitamin C. May have been feeling scurvy. He goes, I got the scurvies, and so I want to have my vitamin C today, and I got to hit the fruit stand. People, it's usually the interstate that I see this, where people are parked. I'm sure everybody sees this at night. There's trucks parked along. They all had an oil smell. I doubt it. They're just parked there doing whatever break they have to do or just sitting. Come on. Do not do this. People die for this stuff. You think, oh, it's just a minute or whatever. No. Go park an illegal parking spot. What's worse, I'll see people parked 200 feet before an exit ramp. Go up the ramp. At least you're off the interstate, for crying out loud. Then come back down the other side. What is the reason for painting the dinosaur pink at Cabazon, California? He was always gray since I was a little kid. I saw him last week when I was in California. I don't know who goes out there and saw this guy painted up. CB, thanks for your videos. I saw the tariffs for the company I drive for PTL, and I see what you're saying about how much they charge and how much they give the drivers. Yeah, they charge all this money. Almost all these companies do $100, $150 an hour and get nothing. If a load is more than 2 days, I forget how they worded it in there now. I'd have to reread the tariffs. So many miles a day. So if the load was a 2-day load and there were 3 days on it, they charge like $1,000 extra for a downtime of the truck. It's crazy. And what do they give you? $50 or whatever. Come on. And say, oh, well, we don't make any money on this stuff. I agree it's just a job, but there's nothing wrong with voicing your concerns for your job. Clydesdale. Oh, look, I agree. I'm not saying people don't have a right to say whatever they want. Don't ever think that. Absolutely. They can go out there and say whatever they want. I don't like slow rolling because I don't like the unsafe part of it. Everybody on the interstate should be rolling at the same speed. Slowing traffic down doesn't help your purpose either. But it's just a job that you aren't entitled to. So that's the thing. You're not entitled to it. So you're voicing your opinion over a job that you don't even have any entitlement to. You got a job, you can get another job. It isn't the government. See, that's the problem we have here, going and saying, okay, well, we'll keep you. Your job gets to be kept because we're just going to hold technology back. It's not the Middle Ages, where we hold off technology. We're not doing that. If the job is gone, why don't you work into getting with an autonomous trucking company, right? Like I've signed up for Two Simple's newsletter. I've written them a few emails and stuff, how I like the technology and stuff. So when this stuff comes, I'm in, right? Hopefully they'll call me. I said, when you get in the area, if you bring a truck up, I'd love to come and see it. I'm coming in on that end of it. Let's stay with the technology. Oh, right. What about hookers? What about their jobs, right? Their jobs are going to be gone. Autonomous trucks. Will be Rosie the robot out there? I don't think so. Jeff Mad, I don't know about that. Our day cabs keep breaking on their own. The shop has disconnected the system, but it still does it. They think it's a wiring problem. A lot of Freightliners have a problem. I agree with you, Big Huge Mike. Ours do the same thing. A lot of road signs do it. Overhead signs for some reason. Fortunately, the truck I'm in doesn't have the autonomous braking on it. It doesn't have the forward radar in this truck because it's an Evolution Cascadia. But some of our trucks do, and when I would drive those trucks, yeah, absolutely. It would hit road signs or whatever. I don't think it's safe at all. Not at all. George Rose, you can email me my detention pay. I know, I need to. Autonomous trucks are witchcraft. Which, yeah, look, that's what we should really do. Okay, Makmo, I think you brought it up. We can say it now. We should test to see if the autonomous trucks are being driven by witchcraft and wizardry. And we do that the same way we test for witches. We take the truck and put it in the water. If it sinks, it's wizardry and witchcraft, and it has to be destroyed. Now, if it floats, then it's okay, and it can get back on the road. That's how we do it. That's how we do the trucks. Cash King Trucking, I just can't catch a break. First internet porn took my job at the Peep Show, and now autonomous trucks are coming for my driving job. Now what? Especially you, somebody doing 1,400 miles a day, you're the perfect candidate to have your job taken by a mindless truck with no remorse. DOT cops won't be needed with driverless trucks. Oh no, Kitty Ling. They said, oh, absolutely. The scales, they talked about this. Scales, everything stays open. Inspections, IFTA, all that. None of that ends. No, absolutely. You don't think government people are going to lose their job over this? They did talk about that, and the truck will have to go in the scale just like any other truck. Oh, yeah. I was always protective of my job at Chippendales, Charles. How did that go? Will that be taken over by an autonomous Chippendale dancer? At least the driver was attempting to be healthy. We got to give him that. They probably, his company said, hey, you guys ought to eat more fresh fruit and stuff. He stops, boom, company has to pay $2 million. I bet that's the last time they show that video. I go to a Hadley date from a store lot, and IOB and the 76 across I-10 has great fried chicken. A chef man forgot your pay. I guess I'm old-fashioned. I don't like not having the control, not to mention whether or not it's going to do it, and I agree it's not safe. I agree with you. It shouldn't be doing there. Just doing that. When the truck hits the brakes because of a road sign, we know the technology is not up to snuff yet. It's not ready for prime time where the truck's driving itself. I hate that in the winter, especially today, right, until probably a few more hours when it gets above freezing. The trucks would slam on the brakes even in the ice and it should have an interlock in that. If the outside temperature is below, say, 40 degrees, it shouldn't be able to activate the brakes like that because it can put the truck in a spin or whatever. But it doesn't, and it should have something like that, but nobody thinks about that. Will a mindless truck with no remorse be able to do 5 shows a day? Maybe. It could take over my job, could be gone soon. You heard about UPS Freight? Yeah, bought by TFI, who I just found out, right, apparently is an owner also of CFI. They're a huge place, TFI International, Canadian, they're Canadians, and it's going to be called T-Force Freight, by the way. They're changing their name to T-Force Freight, and probably the color because it's a UPS colored truck. Which test can only be performed by a newt, according to Monty Python. Doesn't have to look like a newt. He could get better and look human. Oh, right. That's right. That I'd have to remember that. One of my favorite shows, Monty Python. Why are we talking about autonomous trucks? I thought they would not appear for years. Well, there was a slow roll in Joplin, Missouri, where they were talking about autonomous trucks. And Werner, the head of Werner, is now on the panel, Too Simple panel for autonomous trucks, an advisory panel. They're coming up more in the news, and the DOT just put out a large paper about autonomous trucks and the regulations that they're going to use for them. They're coming. They will not be here in any large number for years. Within 10 years, you'll have some routes run in the south. 50 years, you'll have routes run all over the country. 100 years, it'll be dock to dock for autonomous trucks. So if anybody's still here at 100 years, on that show, we will talk about the autonomous truck city to city, and that'll probably be the wrap-up show. So right here, 21, January, we'll do the wrap-up show because there won't be any drivers left, and that'll just be it. A valet to park your rig. Oh, that'd be great. I wonder if they've ever had that. No, because of the a valet to park your rig. They probably can't do that because of the liability. Although they do it for your car, though, right? I don't know. I don't go to Schuster Trucking goes to all these valet places. What do they do with your valet thing, parking your car? Every company should reimburse for paid parking. I agree. It's part of your work. If you have to park somewhere that costs, if you're a company driver, you should get paid for it. If you're an owner-operator, you should have it in your contract. Or you just figure it out, I guess, in your rate. If you're making $3 a mile, I guess you can pay $15 to park or not. You'd figure that out. But company drivers, the company ought to pay for it. I totally agree with you. Are there companies not paying it? I mean, people do write in and say the company pays parking. My 16 Cascadia auto brakes with no warning. Exactly. Brake the railroad crossing with no one around. I hate it. I agree. And so, is that truck ready to drive itself around? No. It doesn't even know when to put its own brakes on. Rest area is closed. Love the show. Reminds me of the romper room when you do shout-outs. Well, okay. I remember that show too. Autonomous trucks are sorcery. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We're going to float one. If it sinks, it's witchcraft. If it floats, it's not, and then it's okay. That's how we're going to tell. The same way they did. It's kind of the reverse of witches, but they're trucks, right? Do I know anything about TSI International? No, I don't really know anything about them. They're a Canadian company, so. I want to be the first hobo to hitch a ride in an autonomous truck. Who would know if I chose a good hiding place? Well, it probably doesn't have any seats in it. There will be trucks at some point that don't have seats. That's just a truck. Won't need a cab. It won't need air conditioning. Think about that. No heating. Won't need any of that stuff other than air to keep the computers and stuff cooled, I guess. But it won't need a sleeper. Won't need any of that stuff. Won't need anything. Might not even need lights at some point. Imagine that. Black truck at night running with no lights, no windshield, no nothing. Just an engine basically driving a trailer around across the country. Just cruising around. And the rest of us all slow rolling in our cars, complaining about it, I suppose. That's what we'll see about it. Let's see here. Oh, I do want to say, right. If you wear it, you should always make it a parrot, of course, naturally. Oh, my bell moved again. There we go. That's better. I want to thank GP Transco for being here today. They had to leave a little bit early, but I do appreciate it. They'll take teams, too, if you're interested in teaming, and looking for good solo drivers as well. Great Plains Transport. Did you know they're going to fill your face and your wallet? How about that? They did not tell me to say that either. I just made it up on my own. Hard to believe, Mark. Schuster had another raise, and they're just down the street from a company that all those drivers should go and work there. So how about that? And you always have to feed your face no matter what, and DOT transportation is a way to do it. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. I appreciate that. Go watch their video from a customer talking about them. By the way, GP Transco had a video with Ice-T. Okay, and they said that's up on YouTube and that. Go watch it. Ice-T and GP Transco together again. I don't know about again. Cash is King Trucking's lives every 10 minutes, and it's $10 an hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, $1,680 a week. What's wrong with that? I think that's great. All your time is paid. That's all I'm asking is for everyone's time to be paid, just like a teenager at McDonald's. They get paid. Why don't we get paid? I don't know. What is Jay? Jay should get paid too. And he's on live. He's on during the day too. Go check. You want to haul a car around? Talk to Jay. I don't really know anything about it. Jay's pretty good. Pretty good. And I have to apologize for the beginning of the show. It's partly Xfinity and partly my fault. And I apologize for not having sound. That is totally me. So the scariest truck is an autonomous truck, but to make it more terrifying, put Swift on the side. Well, look, I'll tell you, that driver from Swift is doing great, that team. I've been eyeing Wheel Trans a lot, considering a move. They seem to be growing. Pass. Hard pass. Write to me for more information about that. They murdered Optimus Prime. Oh, it'll be Optimus Prime Inc. Floral. And they'll sue that. I'm surprised they didn't sue them too. The autonomous trucks will have a force field. They need them. A force field around them. May the fart be with you. Right. That's good. I wish when you were still doing Crab Company of the Week, you had touched on recruiting practices. Will get people to the terminal that have felonies. Now, Prime is one that does this, but there are a lot of large companies, only because I got a lot of letters about people at Prime. Some recruiters get you there knowing they can't hire you because the recruiter gets paid when you show up through the door, and the company gets a government kickback when you show up. So when they get you there, they get paid. And then if they can't hire you, they don't care. And some companies like Prime don't even send you home, or didn't send some people home that wrote to me. And I think that's wrong. If they bring you from your house, they should send you back to your house, wherever it is. They brought you, they take you back. And as an employee or a pre-employee. Or if any company fires you, they ought to send you back home. Period. Is TMC and Prime protesting something? Because I see a lot of their trucks doing slow rolling. Prime is doing a nationwide slow roll for 10 years. Oh, Prime, that's what I wanted to tell you before I go. Prime got me this week too. I'm cruising along, and there's a line. We're being held up by somebody. I'm thinking, but it's a drop deck. I thought, some owner-operator rolling a drop deck really slow. I go to finally get it past them. It's Prime. They got me. Do you know they have drop deck flatbeds? This was a Prime truck pulling a drop deck flatbed. I thought, oh my God, Prime got me even in the flatbed department. It was going 57. Turn around, send them back home just to throw 15 in the recruiter's pocket. Look, yeah, they do that. Recruiter gets paid, but the company, it isn't just the recruiter. The company gets a government kickback saying, we brought people in, but we can't hire them. And I got to believe, look, I don't have proof of this. So, but I know there's no way they would do it unless they got paid for it. Okay, why bring you in? So there's government kickbacks for all this stuff, and they get paid on the backside for that. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Chef Matt, exactly. Right. If you don't like something, stop doing it. How long are you going to be here? How much longer we got? Go do what you love. Live your passion, right? I bet the autonomous trucks will be covered with graffiti just like railroad freight cars. I've seen van trailers like that now. There won't be anyone around to stop them in their spray paint. There'll be autonomous robots that could put autonomous graffiti on there. It's all ones and zeros. The graffiti is on there. 1 0 0 1 0 0 0. You're like, I get it. L. It's a dirty business. Find a company that treats you well and stay. The grass is rarely greener. The grass is green on the other side because, there's a lot of BS being put on it. How about that? And never look at a signing bonus. Norman Bates, right. Get the signing bonus if they give it to you, but that shouldn't even be part of what you're considering. You want the good job, not the bonus, then take the money, but don't ever move because of the money bonus, certainly. But even so, I still have to head out today. Gear Jammer, thank you for being here. Chef Matt, cooking up some comments. I appreciate it. CB was here today. Cassius King Trucking, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Roger Penske was here. Wild Bill made it in first today. And then the president, first the other day, and then George H.W. Bush, president, in today. The Hool was here. It's good seeing you. Clydesdale, that's nice. Michael Muller. It's good to see you today. Where am I here? Woody Ward. Oh, right. Good being here. Well, doggies, it's good to see you. Bryson Glegg. Rest area closed was here today. Slim Shady. Norman Bates was keeping vacancies for us. Corey Holmes was here. Let's see. Where am I here? Misty was here today. I appreciate it. Charles was here. Kitty Ling. It's good to see you. Let's see. What am I doing here? Kenneth Snyder was here. I appreciate you coming in today. Jubba Wub was here. The Horton David. Mob Ent was here. And let's see. I appreciate that. Where am I going here? Oh, Captain Flatbed was here. Kevin, thank you for being here today. Let's see. And George Costanza was here. Texas Trader. But I do have to head on out today. And hopefully it has melted out there by now. Anyways. And I apologize for the beginning of the show. Xfinity partly, but then B. And that is my fault. It shouldn't be like that. So much apologies. Thank you for staying through that. And I appreciate it. Believe me, I do. So I promise to do better. And we'll see. I'm sure there'll be more problems. But thanks for being here. Look, be safe. We're going to do a variant video this week, among other things. And we'll see you for that.